Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life, no more. Your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life, no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. No more. Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. Black and white.
No me hagan mostrar a la buena el mejor, a la mala normal. Yo no sé de rapear, Capi pone en la pista y yo empiezo a tirar. Yo no vine a inventar, puse pegado en la tan. Mala mía, manito, es que como yo no hay otro igual. ¿Qué tal? El tiempo te lo estoy cambiando, 50 formas de seguir facturando. El género cambia para y lo parto. Tranquilo que este flow yo te lo reparto. Que sepa. Celebrando que estamos ganando. La vida es un, si no me entiendes, googlea lo que estoy tirando. Para que tú no me sigas envidiando. Alto.
Oh my god, Jim's gonna shut him down. It's a double kill for Jim. Oh my god, Jim! Looking pretty good. It's gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire. Angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dart goes to 2-piece. Oh my God!
Cada equipo ahí contesta trató de darle ese respetazo ahí, consigue eliminar a Pelusa y rápido se voltea y mete
destaque na marotagem, belo ângulo dele. He's gonna be able to take out. Oh my God! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock.
Já pegou bala na cara do Master. O Almairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. tudo porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas...
Anywhere on the body that you hit, he no-scope for a follow right there. He no-scope.
Hello there, and finally, it is day number 6, week 3, and we are popping things off with an amazing matchup already. Explicit versus Honeybees. These two teams have been showing it up lately, with Honeybees obviously getting that top 2 seed, right? I'm pretty sure they've already taken over, I think it was ARP, right?
Correct.
Okay, so again, very great stuff there for Honeybees. Obviously, only faltering just because they did go against NYX. So with Explicit, though, they've been showing up lately. So I'm really interested to see if they're going to be able to actually go and take one map from the Honeybees.
Yeah, it definitely could be a pretty good one. We're off to our first game is going to be Explicit versus Honeybees, so that has a lot of potential to be a really good game. Explicit has looked better and better every single week, and they are currently actually tied for 3rd place with ARP Celeste. Honeybees definitely been looking solid as well. The only game that they've dropped or even really seemed to struggle in was, as you mentioned, against NYX. And I am seeing in the lobby that we may have a beef mommy simp here.
I know. I saw over here, there's a beef shorty. My goodness. I'm so pumped for these girls. They've been showing so much greatness already in this competition so far. Not only that, they've been supporting each other. They've been supporting us. And honestly, in this competition, there's just nothing but positive vibes. And that's what I love to see.
Yeah, definitely it should be a good one. We do have our maps and bans available for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and hop on over to that so that we can start funneling you guys. Our first map is going to be Firing Range on Hardpoint, one that none of these teams or players should be uncomfortable with. It is very, very common map. For the second map, we'll be going into Raid, Search, and Destroy. And if we make it to Game 3, we might actually see a Domination on Hackney Yard. Explicit with a ban on Summit, not one that we see banned very often. Honeybees with Crossfire, and the Kinetic Armor and the Annihilator are banned. So gonna see the Sparrow and the Death Machine a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be seeing them spanning once they do get a chance. And if they are going to be doing well, we might see it. Here we go. We're going to start things off right now. Very big kills right now. But then it just seems like Honeybees, they already have the momentum to their favor. But Explicit, they have a very good win rate here, only dropping one map against who you know is going to be the top seed here. NYX seem to be like every single team that they go up against, they will beat. But let's take a focus over here. Rue is going to be here in trailer, getting a lot of these kills. Now, what is going to be important here is to get that power position that is trailer. And for now, we're actually going to be seeing Explicit getting a hold of that.
Yeah, we definitely are, and new update means got to redo the keybinds, guys, so the camera might be a little bit iffy here at the very beginning, but definitely a lot of potential here. Aeon, a player that we're definitely going to be keeping our eye on, as well as Molly, who is rocking the chopper once again, and just as a little bit of information out there, Molly is going to be our guest tonight for the spawn, so should be a lot of fun. Comes through the kill and assist there, and a very even game off of the P1 here, Beef.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been getting a lot of great time here, so everything's going to be in an even playing field. I'm not really surprised that this is going to happen, but both of these teams seem to be like they're doing a great job so far with the rotations, with the power positions, because they know where to go. They know where to anchor a spot and get a lot of these kills, so that's probably like the most important, is to get that map awareness, get the maps down. And firing range, like what you said a while ago, is that they're so comfortable here, just because we've seen so many players already and teams really just pick this map because it's the comfort zone. So right now, we're going to be seeing a very great pull for the side of Honeybees. P2 seems to be like their baby. They do so well here in American that a lot of the teams that actually go up against them here in Hardpoint seem to have a very hard time breaking that.
Yeah, as we say that, we actually do get a bit of a break for the side of Explicit. There's Not a lot of time that they pick up there, though, before the retake does come through. Shorty's got 8 kills on the board, has a death machine ready. Oh, can't quite find that one, though. It is going to be Veda coming through, looking for a kill onto Rue. Going to pick that one up. And Honeybees have themselves about a 40-point lead right now, 35-point lead.
Yeah, that's a really big margin already and slowly trickling down into more points. But you can see the setup is already so perfect for the side of Honeybees. You can see here, even though, yes, it's going to be contested, that sentry gun is going to absolutely be courageous for them just because you can see it's doing so much damage, but it does get taken down. It's a good thing that Bianca was going to be able to go in for the kill. But as long as the sentry gun was there, they had a very solid hold, and the XS1 Goliath so early on already in P3 is going to do so much damage already. 76 and 38. Now, all they need to do is probably go and rotate into the next hard point, because this 30 seconds, yes, they're probably going to get a lot of the scrap points, but it's not going to be enough if they want to catch up with the ranks.
Yeah, definitely going to be difficult with a very healthy Goliath on the point. There's a sentry gun watching the back door as well, so they pretty much have this P3 locked down. And as you can see, Explicit have accepted that. They've gone ahead, they've got themselves the spawns, they've got themselves map control of wood, and are looking to maybe try to make a little bit of a comeback there, but it is not going to be an easy one. Molly coming through with a big triple kill there. It's really solid for them. The Goliath finally starting to take quite a bit of damage here. It's below half by a little bit, so a well-placed FHJ shot could be the end of it here, but Shorty can't quite get the trigger pulled. There's going to be the shot coming through, and Rue is going to pick up one more before she dies. Bianca with a double. Looks like a double pred coming in two. Only finds one. Oh, no, it doesn't. It finds two.
The credits for missiles and one cluster strike. Now that is just overkill. 132 and 38. Beef Shorty seems to be like she wants to pull her Goliath also with another assist with the cluster strike going into the rotation for P1. And at this point, they are probably going to win it in this hill already. Such strong competition so far. And Explicit, they're just having a very hard time into breaking the hill. This is such a great way to actually go and start our day number 6 in week 3. And Honeybees seem to be like they're just stinging all the girls of Explicit. And now one of the things that we like to see here is that not only did they go in for the rotations very early, the solid holds. They just won all of their gunfights. That is just so impressive to me.
Yeah, you're definitely right there, and not only did we have the 2 Goliaths coming in, one for P3 and P4, we also had another Goliath coming down for Bianca at the end there, so even if Explicit somehow made the break, it was not going to be a fun fight. But as you guys can see, the kills will pretty much tell you the story of how that exact game went. 150 to 38, sometimes, you know, we'll look at the kills and say, man, that game didn't need to be as one-sided as it was. This one is clear as day. The bottom frag for the side of Honeybees is Rue at 12, and the top frag for Explicit is a 3-way tie for 7. So, pretty rough when you're not getting into the double digits in the first place. As we hop over to the scoreboard, we'll obviously get to see a pretty big objective time difference as well, with everybody on the side of Honeybees having 30 seconds, and a couple of them actually approaching a minute or above a minute, versus Roslyn was the top OBJ for the side of Explicit. And honestly, when you're losing the gunfights the way you are, it is certainly difficult to get any sort of objective time on the hills. So rough game for Explicit, but definitely a big possibility moving forward.
Now we are moving forward to Search and Destroy, and honestly, like the player that you really get to look at is probably going to be Vodka, but the problem is Vodka and Fatal, they're actually, I mean, Fatal is here, yes, but usually she gets to have that assist with Vodka, and usually Vodka having all of those kills already in Hardpoint and Domination, so it's going to be very hard, just because you see here Honeybee is having such a great run here so far. Everyone is basically positive in terms of the numbers. So with a team like that, knowing very well that they have the advantage, they have the momentum, you get to stop them here. You get to stop them in Search and Destroy because you get to take a breather. But if I'm looking at the numbers right now with S&D, Explicit seem to be like they're a little bit struggling here. They lost one to Carnage, lost one to NYX. So Explicit might have a hard time with Search and Destroy. That seems to be like like their kryptonite. On the other end, though, Honeybees seem to be like they're really good at search and destroy. They always give the L, and obviously the only team that gave them the L is going to be NYX. So they're not playing. And the fact that they had such an amazing opener for Hardpoint, they're definitely gonna make their mark right now for search and destroy.
Yeah, definitely going to be the case. And just as a reminder for anybody who maybe joined us late, we are going to be playing Raid Search and Destroy for our second matchup. And definitely a possibility yet where this could still go either way. We will have to see when we get there. Explicit is a very strong team. We have seen them obviously put up some good fights. They're tied with ARP for third. They're only 5 points behind Honeybees. So they're not in a bad position at all. And if they can find a win here in Domination, not only would that be big for them just to pick up those extra 5 points that could potentially keep them ahead of ARP, they would also be denying Honeybees points at that point.
Yeah, and that is gonna be pressure on their end, just because you saw such an amazing struggle from on their end, obviously, just because they couldn't really rack up the points. I'm not quite sure why, but maybe it's because Vodka was missing here in the mix for the side of Explicit, and usually she's the one that gets those 30 bombs that we really like to see. So again, for Honeybees though, they just need to do what they do just to secure that top 2 spot, so it wouldn't really contest it in any way. But obviously, you're gonna be seeing a lot of really great plays here, especially for Shorty and Molly to really come through here and have a spotlight on them here in Search and Destroy Raid.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it is going to take me just a second to get into this game, guys, so hang with me for a minute. Here we go. Oh. Found the button.
Press the button, do the thing, Kronk. But anyway, pull the lever, Kronk. And thank you for pulling the lever on that one. So very great start from both of these teams. And it's a 3v2 situation. But yes, obviously at the side of Honeybees, just because we're seeing a 3v1 situation right now, it's going to be very difficult. Yachty's going to be the only one here, especially with the Holger 26. Yes, that's the gun to do that. But obviously Bianca with the sniper is going to be a little bit too much for her to handle. And just like that, the aggression does not pay off for Explicit right now. They need to slow it down, especially if you do have the bomb. Yes, you're going to be dictating that, but you need to find a way to actually go in. They forget the bomb. Get the bomb, guys. And there you go. Finally, we see the bomb being picked up.
Yeah, good opening shot from Bianca. Picks up Yachty there, but Jules is there to get a refrag onto Shorty. Big opportunity for Explicit to maybe get some ground retaken here. But it does look like we are going to have a little bit of a slow pace for the side of Explicit as they do get picked apart. Rue comes through with a big double kill. Oh man, you could see Veda was trying to get the slide behind the bomb there to take that challenge. Couldn't quite get it. And Aeon's going to come through with the Shorty and pick up the kill. So excellent, excellent work coming out of the Honeybees, who are now up 2 rounds in the Search and Destroy.
It was a little bit of a careless push for Explicit, and I didn't like to see that, because they did that on the first round and they're doing it again. They're doing it again and again. You already know that someone's going to be here in money, and that's a place where you know a sniper is going to be. It's a good thing for them that Bianca actually misses that shot, so they do get to find a way to actually go and break into Alpha. But what they've been doing wrong so far is the fact that they keep pushing and not even playing for picks, and they're just going in there aggressively, not really clearing all of the angles, but then they always need to go in for Bianca to actually stop the play. And it's a good thing for them that she's just missing the shots.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Looks like Veda might be getting ready to pick one up here. Does miss. That's a little bit unfortunate for the side of Explicit, but does find the follow-up onto Shorty. That one's a pretty huge pick. Shorty has obviously been a very impressive player all season long, so definitely expect big things out of Explicit here, but they don't have an easy set of opponents to go up against either. I do believe we've got all of our keybinds fixed, guys, so we should get a little bit smoother in the spectation department.
You know what? Let's give a little bit of appreciation for Day to actually go in here, be production, and shoutcasting at the same time. So please give some love in the comment section right now. So you know what? Let's get back into it. Again, another very aggressive push.
Ooh, Veda.
Veda gets a very spicy kill. Doesn't quite get it with a double kill as well. Ayon with a triple. Ends things so early. Shuts down Explicit for any kind of push. And this is the price that you pay for being aggressive.
Yeah, that was a unreal triple kill for Aeon there. Explicit, they found a little bit of their groove in that third round, but man, Honeybees were just like, nah, you are here to take a seat. We're picking up the 2-0 here. Heaven is actually making a rotation in. Doesn't check her corners. Gets taken down by Molly. What a unfortunate play. Molly finds the second onto Veda as well. We did actually miss Rue picking up one. Now rotating behind. Maybe looking for Yachty in the pool. Yachty pushing on over. Might be looking for another, but Aeon is going to slide on through. Rosalind now on the run in a very, very difficult position. And it is a 1 versus 3 against some very, very dominant Honeybees right now.
Yeah, and the Honeybees are looking in for the sting, but Aeon's going to be in a little bit of a tricky situation. Rosalind takes her down, but then they absolutely know where she is. She needs to go and reposition herself just because a sniper will be able to bring her down. She goes in for the far rotate. She's able to do that. There's actually a lot of time left for her to actually go into the rotate. Spots one. Should have probably not shot at her because that would give away her position, but she goes in for the long rotation, going into jungle as well. That is a good spot to actually be in. They don't know where she is. This is the prime position to go in to have that 1v2 clutch as she spots every angle that she thinks someone will be there. This is going to be good for Rosalind if she's going to be able to go in with a trigger discipline.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, and if we take a quick look at the mini-map, you'll see that she has the free A plant. Now, obviously, she doesn't know that, but I do like the positioning that she has it here. Actually, maybe would have liked it spaced back a slight bit towards the hoop because you could play a couple more angles on defense there. But as you can see, she's gone ahead and just went for the challenge in the workout room here in the corner. And is pretty much just playing sounds at this point. I'm pretty sure she heard the climb up over top, but doesn't hear the player rotating in behind her. Oh, maybe she does.
The pinch needs to ensue. Oh, she's reloading. That is so unfortunate. Oh, the god timing. That's what's happening. That's what I told you. You need to have that trigger discipline. And yes, she was probably like pre-firing, but at that expense, without even having to check the corner, she does go down. A very doable clutch for her, but then unfortunately, that just did not happen. And in that situation, I feel like it would have been just best for her if she actually stayed in top stairs and had like a wider view, knowing very well that there would be a pinch of some sort. And that's what happened. You are going against two players, so they will definitely use that to their advantage.
Yeah, they definitely will, especially a team like Honeybees. And as we do pull things up a little bit here, you can see that both teams playing a little bit slow and back. Nobody really went and challenged that mid push, but we do have a couple players on D spread out. They actually have a lot of D presence for the fact that Explicit haven't, I forgot we just switched rounds. My bad. Ignore me.
And that's why it looks so different. That's why the push looks so different, right? Just because we can see Honeybees with the bomb already. You don't get to see an aggressive push unlike what we've been seeing for the side of Explicit so far. And that is the reason why they're probably going to win this round. Already 2 players gone for the side of Explicit. 1 player down for Honeybees. They still have woman advantage here. The bomb, though, is going to be going down here in Bravo. That's a really... Exactly. Absolutely right. And you can see they're scrambling. They think that it's going to be a presence in A. No, they're going to have to turn around and head their butts going into Bravo.
Yeah, Honeybees played that so well, especially with 2 other players making noise A side to allow that B plant to come through pretty much uncontested. It is now down to Jules, who is one of the better players for the side of Explicit, if I must say so myself, but doesn't matter. Molly is here. Molly is better, and gonna pick up that kill.
It seems to be like that Explicit is in shambles, especially seeing the kills that they're having right now. We see here Heaven having 1, just struggling so much. Jules being that top fragger for her team, having 4 already to her name. But you can see on the other side, it's 7 for Aeon and 7 for Molly. That is absolutely crazy. 7 for Bianca as well. But as one person going down, Beef Shorty is going to be eliminated so early on in this round, and that might be a really good win for them. But with the response, it's going to be Jules as well getting out. Molly, though, with a really big snipe, and they need to go and rotate because the bomb is going to be in the pool, and that will be very difficult. They're being pinched right now.
Oh, Jules, where was the shorty? Unfortunate. Aeon gonna pick up 1. Aeon gonna pick up an assist as well. It's now a 2 versus 3. Explicit just cannot find a break at realistically any stage of this game, and now it is Aeon who has picked up the sniper rifle, gonna push in. Yachty's gonna pick that one up, but does get picked up there. Heaven with the refrag coming through. It's now a 1 versus 1. You gotta be believing in Bianca here with the season that she's been having. But Heaven is playing this angle really, really well right now.
That is going to add a lot of pressure right now for Bianca to actually go and get the bomb, as the bomb is going to be going down right in front of the bomb site. Doesn't quite check the corner, so I'm pretty surprised. This is COD timing at its finest yet again, and Heaven went out. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be good, but here we go. Bianca is going to be over pushing with a sniper. Ew, that is just so difficult. Yeah, she's trying to check the angles, but at the same time, it's just so hard when you check an angle with that sniper, knowing very well that you have to go in quick scope. Should have probably brought out the shorty, and maybe she could actually go and win that gunfight. But Heaven played that to perfection, really just brought down the Angels and won them another life.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it did feel like just a disrespect ego challenge from Bianca. Obviously, we saw her jump the corner, go for the no-scope, which is not, typically speaking, going to be a bold or a good strategy, but it is very bold at the very least. And Explicit actually looking the best this round that they have all game long. They're in a, well, never mind. Bianca and Molly come through with a kill and quickly turn the 4v2 into a 2v2. Molly does have the bomb available as well. Bianca misses the shot from behind. That's going to leave Molly in a 1 versus 2. Does pick up 1.
Yadi, just going to be here in this little cubby. She has the ability to actually go and clutch this up. We've seen it before. But then we're seeing Molly already on fire, having 10 to her name, the most out of everyone here. No one comes close for Explicit, but it's a good thing that she actually went in for that rotation going to Bravo. She needs to go and plant it, but she does have 50 seconds left to her name, so that's enough time to actually go and position yourself, especially going to that 1v1 situation, right? And Molly right now with the 10 kills, you already know that she could probably win this battle, but she needs to play it smart. Just because Yadi can actually be able to go and clutch up, especially with the Holger. It's very possible for her to win a gunfight against the sniper.
Yeah, definitely a big possibility. Holger, obviously, still a strong weapon in the meta. You can see Yadi actually does get the sightline, even if just for a second there. That's going to give her information. Very aggressive pushing up here, but she does not have time to not win this fight, and Molly is just playing the clock so very well. Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh, she got it! She got it!
She got it, exactly! Yadi gets the clutch, and Molly just didn't want to let go of the sniper. And for a second there, I didn't know if she was actually going to be able to clutch it up, just because the icons were kind of blocking the time. So I wasn't quite sure. Oh no, did she make it? Did she not? But then there you go, Yadi yet again with the hero clutch, bringing things off into a 5-3. Still in the favor right now of Honeybees though, but it's still very doable for them to go and clutch up.
Yeah, you're definitely right, and Shorty actually misses one shot onto Yadi there. Jules is looking for a snipe up top. We'll see if she's got a better angle here. Might be looking for Bianca in the window. Got a lot of utility being thrown, but not a lot of bullets connecting, and as I say that, Molly's going to pick Jules off the head glitch. But Heaven does get the refrag. Heaven has actually been really solid for them the past couple rounds with 6 on the board. Roslyn comes through with a big one on to Molly. And the teamwork there picking up Shorty as well. It's now Bianca and Aeon in a 2 versus 4. Make it a 1 versus 4 as Veda going to pick that one up. Bianca does get a refrag, but it's still a 1 versus 3 in a situation that is stacked against her, as the bomb is down in just such a dangerous position, and I don't think she even has dead silence on, so...
Well, it does take a lot for them to actually go in and get Bianca 10 to her name already, but she knows where 1 is positioned. Roslyn is going to have a hard time as the shorty is going to be pulled out. And there you go, 1 kill already. Bianca needs 2 more. She knows very well where everyone else, but bomb is going to be down at a very tricky spot. What she can do is actually get the bomb and go in for the plant in B, and I feel like that's what she's going to do. That is a smarter option. And for them, they just need to chill here in A, and that is a very smart decision to actually just go and commit there. But knowing very well that she has the bomb, it's going to be more likely that she's going to be planting at B, knowing that there's a very solid defense. So the rotation needs to pull through right now from Explicit.
Yeah, we do have the plant coming out from Bianca here. It would definitely still be a difficult 1v2 clutch, but with a shorty and a sniper rifle, anything is possible. What on earth? What a shot.
What a shot, and going through the wall already. Heaven.
Oh, she saw the laser, right?
He's gonna try to do it, but no, doesn't try to get it. Doesn't quite get the no-scope, and Heaven yet again with a clutch, and Bianca was just a little bit too greedy with the no scopes. Could have just pulled out the shorty, but no, she decided to commit to that. Pays the price. That was a really good move on her, though, just to get the bomb, go and rotate into Bravo, and getting the plant on, but unfortunately, doesn't quite get the shots, the final shots that would have mattered. And this is going to be a little bit too close for comfort, just because it might just be around 11.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to be the strategic mind here for a second, right? The ego no scope challenge when it's a 5-to-1, probably okay. You could probably afford to mess around there. Now we're sitting at a 5v4. That was probably not the time to go for the no scope challenge, but definitely you can tell that Honeybees are confident here that even if they give up a couple rounds, that they are going to go ahead and pick up the win regardless. Do have a couple kills coming through. Rue picks up 2. This is really big.
Rue already having 2 kills in this round. Don't really go and over push. There's this one more person right behind him, Heaven, but then gets traded out by Molly. It is going to be a 2v4 situation. Molly yet again tries to get 1 from the shorty. Gets 1. Veda going down. It's a 1v4 situation. And here we go. Yadi is going to be in a bit of a pickle just because everyone's going to be surrounded.
Oh!
Gets a double kill. Can actually possibly take this into a clutch. Needs 1 more. Gets shots from top of the stairs. There you go. Beef Shorty finishes the job, and here we go. Finally, Honeybees finishes the job when it could have been ended 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, excellent game. Definitely some questionable ego challenges for the side of Honeybees, but they end up coming through with the 6-4 win. And that's going to pick themselves up another 20 points. And again, this was a team that up until Tuesday was actually in 3rd place. They were behind ARP because I believe ARP at that point, and even at this point, still have not played NYX. So that is a big factor that we do have to consider. But they bounced back. They're in 2nd place. And as it sits right now, they have a fairly sizable lead, so they're definitely looking to have a quarterfinal spot available to them. Or semifinal spot available to them. I don't realistically, with the games that we have lined up for the next couple days, see them falling out of 2nd place at this point. So it's a pretty key position for them to be in. As you guys can see, the kills pretty heavily stacked for Bianca and Molly there, but you definitely had a lot of teamwork put in overall for the side of Honeybees, even when it felt like they were trolling just a little bit. So,
Yeah. Just a little bit, just a lot of it. Really just trying to give us a very entertaining show, especially with Bianca with that no scope. But that would have been really good if she actually hit it, but she didn't. So, I mean, it could have been up for the highlights, but that would have been really, really great. But again, props to Honeybees for even though at Search and Destroy, they gave me a little bit of a heart attack just because, okay, they're bringing it really close. 1 more round, we might actually see around 11. But again, very great effort though for the side right now of Explicit. They did a good job, but unfortunately, they just couldn't really get it just because Honeybees have been so good here in this competition so far. Getting that 2nd seed, that is going to bring them up and really just get a lot of these points.
yeah, and just to be clear, that is speculation, because we could absolutely still see ARP come through and potentially beat NYX. I mean, I'm not going to rule anything out, even though NYX have been looking pretty much unstoppable. They still have work to do. They still have to keep trying, and it also depends largely on how ARP do. But with Explicit being, again, one of those teams that was tied for 3rd place with 75, losing 2-0 here, they'll pick up no points for today, and that will give ARP an opportunity to extend that lead a little bit. So we are going to take a short break, guys. We'll be back to the action as soon as we possibly can for you. I don't think I have a trailer to play right now. No, it'll be after next match. Okay. Well, our next match will be Operation 34 versus Carnage, guys, so make sure you guys stick around for that, and we'll be back here in just a minute.
invincible.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are getting into our next game, which is going to be Carnage versus Op34. And this is definitely a set of teams that has found their little bit of struggles. Op34 sitting down at 10 points, definitely been struggling a little bit more than Carnage, who are sitting up at 50. But Carnage has, to me, and you may disagree, but I feel like Carnage has been a very inconsistent team. We see Carnage sometimes show up and they look like they could be competing in top 3. We see them other days where you're like, I just don't see the teamwork anymore. You know, like obviously we've seen them go up against some tough matches. You know, that's not to be said, but it just seems like they fall apart so easy.
Yeah, well, with Carnage though, I feel like they had probably one of the best growths that we've seen here, and they did win 2. One against Truly, one against Nyla. So the interesting part about them is that with 2 teams that are a top 2 and top 3 seed, ARP and Explicit, they brought it into a domination. So you already know that they can definitely bring it to the table, especially if you are going up against them in Search and Destroy. But for Op34, it's a little bit of a miss for most of the time. They did win 1 against Zygnus, but that's about it. And we already know that Zygnus probably wasn't going to be the best competition here. They were going to be our bottom seed, kind of like with Truly. But they did go up against very difficult opponents as well. But going up against Carnage, though, I feel like I might put my money on Carnage just because of how well they can actually do in Search and Destroy. They also took 1 map off of ARP and Hardpoint. So maybe, who knows? It could be, I might eat my words just because Op34 has shown us a really great time as well. But how about you, Day? Who do you think is actually going to be winning map number 1?
Well, I would definitely be leaning on Carnage here, but Op34 is another team that has really had some phenomenal talents as well. And as we hop over and look at the map pool, this might be a kind of point to make as well, because I feel like Op34 plays firing range really well, and that is going to be our second map of the night, which is Search and Destroy. We'll be starting off in a raid hardpoint. If we do make it to game 3, we may see our first crossfire, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, it's there's really good players on both of these teams, and again, sometimes they show up and the teamwork is there and they look phenomenal, and then other times it just feels like they're not working together. So that is definitely something I'm going to be really kind of trying to critique a bit between these 2 teams here. But we have really phenomenal talent on both these rosters. I mean, ZMEBV has obviously looked pretty fantastic. Dimarzitos also looked pretty good several weeks. But then you look over at the opposition, Artemisa, Vanish, Venus, all really phenomenal players as well. So definitely could go any which direction. We are just waiting on 1 or 2 players to get readied up, guys, and we'll get you into the game as soon as we possibly can. And hopefully we'll have an exciting one. I definitely feel like this one has potential to be Game 3 material.
Yeah, I wanted to reach domination just because Carnage has been bringing it to a domination already. They're the only team that actually brings it to game number 3. So there's a lot of bright spots here for Carnage. And if it's going to be Hardpoint at raid, that's going to be very difficult for Op34. They have a big challenge to go and defeat them because they have a 100% win rate in raid. They won this against Truly, won it against ARP. But for Op34, though, they lost every single raid map that they actually could. ARP and Explicit, they did have that. So it wasn't a big margin, though. It was 117 and 150 against ARP, 135 and 150 against Explicit. So these aren't huge numbers. There's not a huge gap. So if they can perform well, if the rotations are key, if they have early rotations, win those gunfights, then yes, they can maybe topple over Carnage. But Carnage, it will definitely not make it easy for them.
Oh, definitely not going to be the case. So we'll have to see as we move on. Again, Op34 seem to have struggled quite a bit. I have big hopes for them specifically in the Search and Destroy. As you mentioned, Carnage, pretty solid team on Raid. So with Raid Hardpoint being the first map in this rotation, I definitely would be leaning on them to pick up a win there. But I'm feeling Op34 for Game 2. I'm really hoping we get a Game 3 here. We do have all of our players readied up, so hopefully Hello is not sleeping and is going to get us on in. There we go.
And just like that, we are going to be starting things off in Hardpoint. But let's talk about Search and Destroy, because we did say that it's probably the most chance that Op34 gets to actually go and get rid of Carnage and maybe just steal a bunch of their points. But both of these teams have been struggling in firing range in Search and Destroy. So we've seen 3 maps already for Op34. They've had most of their Search and Destroys there, but it's not going to be easy because they lost every single map. But here we go. It's going to be a different day, hopefully a different team, because but then you can see the rain of grenades going into P1.
Yeah, definitely going to be a big one for these two teams here. Oh no! Disaster strikes as the vehicle explosion picks up 1, but it does look like Op34 might even be the first team to really get in on the point here. But as I say that, it is going to be a very fast rebreak for Carnage, who falls almost immediately apart.
It is not going to be easy to go and break. We see here top launcher control already for the side of Op34, and that's what they needed. But we can see here a challenge going into jungle. Doesn't quite get the challenge though. Artemisa backs away. Not quite sure if that's the smartest decision to do, as we see here Op34 with a really strong start. Oh, it's because Artemisa just wanted to have backup from her teammates. And we can see here 1 stack going in there, 2 stacks. But then no, they just keep losing their gunfights. It's all Op34 in the mini-map.
Yeah, Op34 with an actually phenomenal P1, and this is a big break for P2 as well. Dimarzitos, one of the players that we mentioned to watch out for at the beginning, comes through, clears out the kitchen. It is looking to get their team a little bit of respawn control, but as you can see, Vanish and a couple other players are pushing for backs here. Might be looking for some spawns. A couple kills do come through as Artemisa picks up 1 onto Karo. But this is another one of those scenarios where, again, Op34, we have seen 2 ends of the spectrum. We've seen them put up some really good fights, as well as some not-so-great ones, and this is already looking to be a good one right now.
A very good one, but it seems to be like P2 is going to more be in the side right now of Carnage. Carnage having a really solid hold here in kitchen, but it's going to be great for them. Op34 seems to be like they are having a hard time in breaking the hill, but finally, Yummy Bebe gets 1 important kill, and they finally have hardpoint number 2. But the rotation needs to go in there for the side right now of Carnage, just because they already had a lot of gunfights there. Should have probably went in for the early rotation, but no, it seems like they don't want to have early picks over here into Garage. We already know it's going to be Money Hill. You can get a lot of kills already here. Artemisa seems to be like she will have a hard time. 3 kills already to her name, but there you go. Big kills for her.
Yeah, huge game there, but it's a 30-point lead for the side of Op34, who continue to put their work in. They're trying to get the rebreak, but can't quite find it. Vanish coming through with a big double. Artemisa finds 1 as well. But look at the spawns Op34 got here.
Yep, Op34 is ready in position, really going in there for the infiltration. They are going to have a bunch of effort here just to deny the points. That's the least they can do. If they're not going to be getting points here, the most they can do is actually go and contest, and that's what they're doing, stopping the points from trickling down. And at this point, both of these teams should go in for the rotation, as we're going to be seeing here through mid, in pool side. They need to win these big gunfights, and we can see that Dimastritos actually going to be able to win that, as we see here 2 members already going in there for the pinch. But as you can see, it's going to be very hard, as Artemisa is going to be pinched, but if she does win that gunfight, it's a really big fight to actually go and have this P4.
Yeah, Fred Missile does come in and picks up 1 for Venus. There's a really big garage for the side of Carnage. They were able to completely recoup their losses there and bring it into a 10-point game in their favor at this point. So really phenomenal game from them. But it's Op34 getting right back into it. They've set up for basketball court. They've got some decent respawn anchorage here. You have to watch out though. Nappy is making that rotation from behind his head, and you can see it did pull a respawn jungle side for the side of Carnage, and that's actually really big.
There is no map control whatsoever for both of these teams. And we can see here, every single one of the players right now of Op34 is actually going to be in that hard point. Obviously, as they die, they're going to be spawning off and through mid, but that is just going to be very solid defense. We can see here that they're actually struggling. Carnage is struggling to win those gunfights. We can see it's all just Op34 here in the kill feed, and that's going to be very impressive for them. 94 and 68, there's still a big way for Carnage to actually go and turn around all these points going into P5. But it's going to be difficult. P5 is the most difficult hardpoint to actually go and defend.
Yeah, Janaebrook picks up one there, but does fall to the second. Artemisa is playing the point here pretty solid, but gets Pred missiled. Zia Mibibi comes through with a big double. Op34 have crossed the 100-point mark. They're still on the objective here. Zia has a Goliath, has a Death Machine. This could be a great opportunity if they're able to hold on to that Goliath for Kitchen. They could really try to lock down a win there.
De Paredes with a really big triple, plus putting down the sentry gun. It's enough for them to have a very solid hold here in P5. They might actually be able to get all the points already. Not enough though. I'm not quite sure if it's enough for them to win this, but that is so impressive. Op34 seem to be like they just found their rhythm. They found their groove, especially with De Paredes having 24 already to her name. It's going to be very difficult as the contest is going to be going on. They do have to go and rotate though. Both of these teams not into position. Oh yes, they finally get it. A very early rotation from Op34. Not only do they get the scrap points, but that early take, especially that top laundry control, will be very good for them to end things here in P1.
Yeah, definitely a big position for them to be in. As you can see, that Goliath is coming down for that laundry control that we mentioned. That's a big reason that we've been sitting here spectating at Zia this whole time, waiting to see where they were going to use it. And what's important to make note of is they do have this Goliath, and it's going to help them anchor spawns. And they are at no risk of losing on this point to Carnage. And I do not agree with that push from the Goliath there. That is a bit unfortunate to waste it in that sense. And man, if Op34 throw this game, I'm calling it on that Goliath play.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna quit already if Op34 doesn't get to have this W. And this is a really good spot for them. Yes, Kitchen will be the place they can probably win 10 more points. And it's basically going to be catch up for the side of Carnage. All they need to do is have one solid rotation going to Kitchen, get all the points here. And everyone is in shambles. Doesn't quite get a lot of these kills. Artemisa with a very big sentry gun needs to have more kills though. I feel like it's not going to be a lot of points for them, but sentry gun does its job, gets one more kill. But then it's still going to be Op34 in the hill. As like that, slowly but surely, 2 more points left, but the contest is still holding here.
Oh my goodness.
Carnage. It's not going to be easy for them, as we see here. 2 more points. Op34, you might actually go and drop this one. Artemisa popping off with 21 with the shorty. It's still going. They might actually win this if they have a very solid hold here. It's going to be very difficult for them if they don't go in for the contest. They're still losing their gunfights. And just like that, we're going to be seeing a 140.
Oh no!
Seconds left in the clock. Artemisa, 22 kills. They're not going to be able to win this. 5 more points. 5 more seconds for them to win. And just like that, we're going to be seeing here a great turnaround for Carnage.
No!
And they just threw it. Op34 had the opportunity to win this hard point, but threw it away. Wow, I am just out of breath.
Oh no, that's so hard. The Goliath play was so bad. That's unfortunate. All they had to do was hold spawns and get that Goliath into P2. There was not any time on the board for the side of Carnage to win off of that P1. You could have had a Goliath inside. You could have had it anchoring spawns. What happened? The heartbreak. The absolute heartbreak.
I am at a loss for words. Denomine. I'm calling you with your full name right now. I usually call you Dave, but Denomine. This is some serious stuff. Okay, Op34 absolutely was not supposed to win. They weren't supposed to lose, and Carnage did not give up. I like what I'm seeing here. The fact that Carnage didn't give up to the last second just goes to show how much of a great team they are. And Op34, come on, girls! You had 2 seconds to just get a hold of a hard point, but you just lost it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm like constantly at this point waiting for the 90-second delay to catch up in chat because my
Yeah, same
goodness,
here. I'm just wondering.
it is gonna be some pretty big laughs for sure. But looking at the scoreboard here, uh, it's so hard to call that game. My goodness, what a absolute disaster for Op34. They were playing so good, and then it all fell apart on unfortunately, realistically, one bad play. Again, they lost the Goliath, they lost their spawns for P2, gave control over to Carnage, who was able to just push right up into Kitchen. And as you guys can see there at the end, I popped open the map a couple times just to show there were 5 bodies of Carnage in there, and everybody from Op34 was just slamming their face in one at a time instead of taking that 20 seconds that they had at the end there to get a regroup, throw a concussion in, and maybe push in as a team, take advantage of your enemies being blinded and concussed. And unfortunately, again, I feel like they just panicked a little bit at the end, and it cost them big time.
That was a big blowout for Op34, and I am. You know what? You know what we said? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave right now. Like what I said a while ago. This is gonna be on you. Y'all are gonna see my. I'm leaving. I'm just kidding, but honestly
we
though,
froze.
such effort for Carnage, and wow, that was an amazing comeback. That was so great, and probably the best hardpoint game that we've seen in this tournament so far. Op34, you better show up in Search and Destroy. You better not bring it to around 11, a 1v1, or else there you go. Day is the one that's gonna drop off. I even call Day Domination. I don't usually call him his full name, but you know, I'm just that serious.
Yeah, that was definitely a heartbreaking game to watch. I was at that point in time. I don't in hardpoint. I don't often pick sides. If I'm gonna pick sides, it's usually in Search and Destroy or Domination if it's a best of 5, because I want to see more action, especially against 2 teams that are just going at it so hard. And that was one of those games where we could realistically see the Search and Destroy going either way, but obviously for the respawn, we were given the edge over to Carnage. And Op34 were just out of the gate so good. They struggled a little bit on that money hill that Carnage made the break on, but man, that is super heartbreaking for the side of Op34. I'm really hoping they pull together here for the Search and Destroy, because I want to see a game 3. After that hardpoint was so good, I demand a game 3.
We demand a game 3, and I know my camera froze. So was I not seen the whole time when I was showing my jammies, or was it seen? I'm
For the most part, no. You froze with your hands thrown up in the air, and
there you go. There it is.
That.
I'm just. I guess you guys weren't able to see my jammies, but you know what? Right now, I'm just that serious with it. But there you go. We're gonna be starting off our Search and Destroy very strongly right now. Everyone's gonna have a very passive play, and that game just made me so tired, and I like that feeling of being tired with casting.
Yeah, definitely going to be the case. Pichu does miss a big shot there. That could be really bad for the side of Carnage, but Venus is going to get a kill to even things up in a 3 versus 3. The bomb is now planted. Another kill comes through for Venus, picking up Zia. Vanish finds another. It's now going to be Caro in a 1 versus 3. Not a lot of time on the board and plenty of enemies to face. Picks up Vanish, but can't get the kill on the diffuser, and that's going to be the first round going over to the side of Carnage.
Carnage has everything in their favor. That instrumental win from Hardpoint a while ago in Raid just gave them the confidence boost that they well deserved. Op34 though, this is where we're going to be seeing the professionalism on their end. If they can handle that L, if they can actually go and have that bright side going into Search and Destroy, then I'm going to be very impressed if they actually go and win this, because that can really destroy your confidence. So hopefully they do get to have more amazing play. They are going to stack A very heavily, but very big kill by DiMarcito, so that's a really good start for them.
Definitely a lot of opportunity yet, especially with Op34 picking up a first blood there. Zia does take a grenade, but is going to survive and gets the bomb plant. They once again have a player advantage with the bomb planted. This is, by all means, this should be their round, and this is a really, really bold challenge from Zia trying to take on Venus here. The concuss and the nade come in, but Zia not going to get hit by either of those. Picks up a free kill onto Venus, and it's now just going to be Artemisa, who has been one of the better search and destroy players for this lineup in a 1 versus 5, but with only 10 seconds on the board. Not even a miracle can save Artemisa at this point.
Yeah, and probably the only miracle is them being disconnected. That's the only way. But does get a double kill and not going to be able to win the round, not enough. But then just ego challenge everyone to just say that, yes, I can have a lot of these kills. So very good response from Op34. If they win the search and destroy, I will show my jammies in Domination. Okay, since my camera wasn't cooperating a while ago, hopefully we get to see that. But a very great response nonetheless from Op34 here, and they've been doing so well with them and the bomb just being a little bit passive here. Tries to see if they can actually go in there for the infiltration and long, but it's not going to be easy. 2 people already in for the defense, but they do get the information already, knowing very well it's going to be a full stack.
As Zia is going to pick up one onto Ginebra. It's another really big round coming through for Op34. Artemisa finds one, Venus finds another, but Zia finds a double. That's going to bring things once again to a 3 versus 3. Zia does have the bomb. Might be looking to potentially push up for a bomb plant, but they rotate back onto Vanish, picking up another one. Pichu, as you can see, is sitting here on the wood head glitch, trying to see if anybody is going to make that B-side push, but pretty smart game sense here. Look at Pichu coming through. Might not be able to catch anybody crossing, but this is really, really smart game sense. And now using the sight line here, potentially looking for players to be rotating through the crevices in the wood.
There you go. CME Bebe gets 1 kill, bringing it down into a 3v1 situation, and they are rotating, going back into Bravo. That is big brain plays. Knowing very well that Bravo might be heavily stacked, goes in for the rotation again, plays for picks, goes in again for the rotation, knowing very well that one person is going to be in A. That is absolute perfection. And this is a different Op34 playing a very smart game of search and destroy. Now, it's going to be very hard right now for Pichu to actually go and clutch this up, but knowing very well this player can actually go in there for the snipe plays, maybe they can actually get one.
Yeah, definitely might be a possibility. It is a 3 versus 1 once again. Pichu has been a solid player for the side of Carnage, but a 1v3 with 15 seconds on the clock just doesn't feel realistic. Doesn't check her corners. Should be dead by absolutely all rights. Does end up getting picked up by Zia there. 2-1 lead now for the side of Op34, who are at the very least proving that they have that mental game to keep up here and to bounce back from such a heartbreaking loss in that hardpoint.
Yeah, that was supposed to be their game. We're seeing a different Op34 today, and I like to see that growth from this team. But not only does Op34 grow, it's also Carnage as well. They did not give up. They had that fighting spirit, but let's see how far that fighting spirit can go right now for the side of Op34, knowing very well they're at a disadvantage. Very early push coming in from Op34 going into that A.
Whoa!
Jose Paredes having a very big opening pick.
Yeah, big shot there from Paredes, but definitely going to be a uphill battle for them throughout this game. This is going to be their second to last round on offense. We are in round 4 here. They'll then go on to defense, and that's going to give Carnage a little bit more of an opportunity to control the pace of the game. I've mentioned it before, when you're on defense, you to some degree are going to have your teams split up. By all means, that looked like that should have been a wallbang, but doesn't connect, doesn't matter, comes through and finds the second shot. Artemisa going to find one. Doesn't matter. Marzitos and Paredes coming through with 2 double kills apiece, or a double kill apiece, taking down the 4 remaining members of Carnage. And that's going to be the 3-1 lead for Op34 going into the last round of this first half.
There was no way they should have lost that. There were two of them, and it's one person from Op34, but this is what we're talking about. It's a different team right now. They're doing such an amazing play. They're not over pushing. They're not being a little bit too greedy or aggressive, but then a very interesting push going to Bravo, but then does get traded out. Artemisa does an important job at getting one more person, but then they have an instrumental job to actually go in there. Artemisa yet again with another one. Oh, the AS Val seem to be like it's a gun to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely a great gun in the close to mid-range. It is an AR that struggles a bit in the long range, which is not typical of what you hear, but the AS Val almost functions more of almost like a submachine gun style play that has a little bit more mid-range capability just because of some changes to how submachine gun bullet drop-off works, but it is going to be Artemisa picking up another, and Caro is going to drop to Jadebra as well. That's going to be a big bounce back round for Carnage, who will narrow the gap a little bit, making it a 2-3 in favor of Op34. But the sides have switched, and it's still anybody's game.
Misa, 3 pieces in that round, and really just using her advantage of having the sidelines, having that head glitch, and using the paper-thin walls of firing range, not stopping. But here we go, Venus and Pichu get rid of him just by grenades, death by grenades, and vehicle explosion. A very interesting push going into Bravo, already winning these gunfights, and it's a very strong start here. And it's going to be in shambles. One person going to be in trailer as one roamer. On the side right now, it's Peachul that's going to be trying to get one pick at a time. Tries to see if he actually get one more, but they're just going to be sitting tight here. This probably going to be a little bit passive on my end. I feel like they should have pushed just a little bit going to Bravo.
Yeah, looking to be the case right now. I'm actually surprised that we haven't had a little bit more of a push-up. Obviously, Carnage didn't know that all the players from Op34 were back, but that was an absolutely free plant coming through. Artemisa does get hit markered, but does survive to tell the tale. 5 versus 3, and it is going to be Op34 playing against the clock. So this round looks like it's probably about to tie things up. We do have players of Op34 making that rotation from behind. It is Marzitos, and oh man, oh Vanish, you didn't have to do him like that.
He finally gets the kill, and just like that, we are going to be evening things out at a 3-3. That was a very hard push, just because the whole squad was in Bravo, and they had that very late rotation going into Bravo. So, Op34 faltering in the 2 rounds that they lost here so far. Definitely still doable for them going in for the W, but again, a very aggressive push going into A and Bravo as well. At this point, I think they should go in for the rotations once the information does come to them that it's going to be a full stack greeting him here at Alpha.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple 1-for-1 trades coming in. They're going to leave things in a 4 versus 4. Pichu somehow survives, but Marzitos survives as well. So they will both make it out. We do actually have a big rotation from behind for Paredes, who's looking for Pichu. Is going to find the one, gets hit markered, but it doesn't matter. Finds the kill. And that's going to give the 4-3 advantage. Vanish rotating over. Vanish, you got to win that one. You have to win that one.
Lost that round, but it's not over yet.
Point, De Paredes didn't even have her gun out yet, but for some reason still got the kill. And really just evening things out and having finally the advantage. 1 round advantage for the side of Op34. And here we go. That's what we like to see from these girls. That advantage. Going in for the flank was probably the smartest thing they can actually do. That's what we like to see here. The fact that they have a counterplay for the plays right now. And Carnage is having a very hard time. This is a very even playing field for both of these teams. You already know these teams are very talented, but who's going to have that light here today? Let's see.
Definitely going to be hard to tell. As you can see, it is Carnage maybe taking a little bit of a step back here. They played very aggressive the past couple rounds, and now look, they are posted up looking for ideally Pichu to pick up a first blood, maybe give them a little bit more of an opportunity to push up. I'm actually going to go ahead and hop over to Pichu, who is starting to make that rotation over. Might be looking for one, but gets a hit marker again. My goodness, that feels terrible.
Feels bad, and it happens. It really does happen. Like a while ago, we saw a double hit marker for the set of De Paredes. So Pichu, there you go. Finally gets rid of Marzitos, and that's going to open things up for a plan, and hopefully they go in and commit into a site. But 2 players already deep into Alpha, but the bomb is going to be here in Bravo. 1 person, though, from the side of Op34 is going to be their guardian. It's Yami Bebe, but does back away. So still a very passive play from both of these teams, really just playing for picks, and that's a really good play. It's a good thing we're not seeing the same strategies over and over from both of these teams.
Yeah, definitely can agree with you there. But it is going to be the opening pick coming through, as you mentioned, for the side of Carnage. Hitmarker comes through, but Venus is there to finish it off. It's now a 5 versus 3 with 40 seconds on the clock. This is definitely looking like it's going to be a round going to Carnage. But again, I am massively cheering for Op34 at this point in time. They are arguably the underdogs in this matchup. And I would love to see a Game 3.
I would love to see that as well. And here we go. It's going to probably go into a round 11. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. A 4-4 already for both of these teams. They've been doing phenomenal. And it seems like with the Vanish, she is absolutely just been doing not such a great job as what she usually does. So it's a good thing that a lot of her teammates are going to be pulling through Artemisa with having that 8 bomb already to her name. And right now for the side of
no!
And there you go! Demarcitos with a vehicle explosion. Basically gives them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, definitely a rough one. Oh my goodness. And then Marzitos gets a hit marker onto Venus across the map there through the wood. Not quite a near kill shot, but definitely some good aim. The wallbang shots are coming through. Can't quite find the bullets to connect. And now, as you can see, it is going to be Carnage making the rotation over towards B. Looking for a little bit more of an advantage there, but a grenade comes in and they turn around. I actually don't think that grenade got any intel, which is pretty big for them.
Yami Bebe, just having sights on B long, that really just stops the push. That's really good. But then they seem to be like they want their sights for Alpha right now. Alpha seems to be a little bit open, but not quite, as they do need to deal with 2 players there. Rotation already coming through. And there you go. 1 person down yet again. Vanish is gonna vanish from thin air, and DeMarzitos does a really good job at applying that pressure. A 3v5 situation.
Yeah, Caro is rotating over. Gonna find 1. Doesn't see the player rotating in behind them. That is gonna be a big trade. Picks up 1, but it is going to be Ginebra in a 1 versus 3. Head glitching the bomb. Has a Bison in hand. Not quite going to be able to challenge an AS Val from that range. And definitely not going to challenge a Holger from that range. Gonna pick up 1, though.
Need 1 more. Come on. Get a collat. Get a collat. Get a collat. Oh, so close.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Pops it. And here we go at map point. A 5 and a 4. And here we go. Op34, though, we've seen them in this situation where they do have the advantage. But if they're going to be dropping it yet again, I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up shoutcasting. This is it. This is the last time I'm ever going to be shoutcasting a game.
Oh, no.
And you're not going to see me anymore. But in all seriousness, Op34 have been doing so amazing in this competition. A very aggressive push going in here. And Carnage really wants to go and plant the bomb here in Bravo.
Yeah, definitely looking to be a rough matchup here. Another 1-for-1 trade comes in. Op34, they are in a great position. They pick up another kill, but the 1-for-1 retraded out by Pichu. If Op34 can close this round out, they might be able to push us into a Game 3. It's only going to be Pichu left alive, who did pick up the kill on Marzitos, but Op34 have done it. That's going to be another Game 3 with Carnage. And Op34... what a strong mental game they have to come back after that horrible loss. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I thought they were coming into the Search and Destroy defeated, and that was just not the case.
And that's what we keep saying. It's professionalism at its finest. And we don't really get to talk about it a lot here. We keep saying, yeah, gun skills, rotations, but we keep forgetting about one thing. This is a very pressureful situation, if that's even a word, to really have that mental state, knowing very well that you almost won hardpoint, but dropped it by just 2 points, winning this Search and Destroy. Yes, it was a close matchup, but they did so well with all of the retakes, all of the plays. They had everything down, and mentally, that did not phase them. So I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing here by Op34, and I owe you guys a jammies reveal when we do have our chems here in a few seconds. But you know, I'm really pumped just because we have finally another domination, and Carnage Girls seem to be like that's their luck to bring it into a domination round. But the bad thing for them is they keep losing that domination. So hopefully they win it. And you know what? I am happy with whoever comes out on top.
Yeah, me too. We were rooting for the action to get to Game 3. Well, we've got it. I'm not going to pick sides for a Game 3. I don't care who wins this one. I just want to see another phenomenal game. We had a hard point to lead us off. That was a 2-point game, 150 to 148 at the end, where Carnage was able to clutch it up. And we had a round 10 search and destroy. Not quite a round 11, but definitely a really solid performance from both of these teams. As you can see, there are kills spread out across the board. We have tons of players with 8 kills. Paredes comes through with 11 on the board, crossing over into that double digits. Other players at 7, 6. We did have 2 players struggling a little bit behind there, and one of them being Vanished, which is a little bit of a surprise to me. But we're going to go ahead and hop over to our cams so that we can check out some beef mommy jammies, apparently.
Yeah, y'all prepare yourselves for my jammies just because they're just so awesome. And you know, with us casters, we usually look very proper on top, but it's always party in the bottom. So here we go with a jammies reveal. We're sporting a very nice blue jammies with penguins on them. But again, it's going to be absolutely crazy for our next matchup, Domination. Finally, I'm always so excited to have a domination game just because we don't really get to see it that often. So, domination here in Crossfire. We don't like to see it. We really don't like seeing that map here in Domination. Yes, I like, oh wait, no, am I wrong? Oh, no, I'm right. And there you go. It's a very interesting map to actually go and see just because Crossfire is very heavily favoring Charlie. So, both of these teams get to have Charlie's side though, but who gets to have that rotation going into Charlie once you do spawn into A? That's where we're going to be seeing greatness there.
Yeah, and just because this has been a long series, guys, I want to go ahead and remind you of our operator bans, which was the Sparrow and the Kinetic Armor for this matchup. So we are going to have the Death Machine and the Annihilator available. I think I said that right. Yeah, Sparrow and Kinetic Armor are banned. Death Machine and Annihilator will be through for this matchup. So really solid operators available. Let me get the right... Boom, here we go. We're rocking and rolling into the game, guys. And I gotta say, this is a big opportunity for Op34. They've got the A side start, which means they have the strong side in the second half. And that can potentially be a really big advantage.
Absolutely, and we're going to be seeing a very strong start, though, for the side of Carnage, and without any issues here, just because you already know they're spawning off in the favorable side, so that's the reason why they get B, but we're not seeing a rotation right now from Op34 going into Charlie, so I don't think they really want to get that, but it probably will be a mistake, just because you can see that they're already struggling here, and even trying to go near Bravo.
Artemisa comes through with a ginormous triple kill there for the side of Carnage, who are going to maintain their CB cap. This is definitely the case of what we normally see, but I gotta say, this is a gun that we've seen Artemisa use a lot that hasn't really been one super popular in the meta recently, and that is going to be the AK-117, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Hunter Killer is going to go out. I've always been a... one to repeat that a Hunter Killer is 9 times out of 10 going to be a free kill, and it does pick one up there. Venus coming through with a couple kills. Might be looking for another. Caro might be looking for a potential spawn flip here. This could be really big. MX-9, you mean assault rifle, picks up the kill. What range? What a strong weapon, but Nathi making the rotation over is going to help anchor those spawns, help anchor that point, and prevent the C-flip.
Welcome to Call of Duty Mobile, where the SMGs act like ARs, and ARs can even handle long-range gunfights. And again, that is the beauty, I guess, of this game, and it's pretty funny that we see MX-9s really just lasering from far away. But again, very solid hold right now from Carnage to actually not even give a point from Bravo, and that's the reason why you need Charlie. You need to see a very solid push going into Charlie, just because you can see here, Carnage wants to win this game, and Op34, you've seen them try so hard in Hardpoint and Search and Destroy, and for them to drop it in Domination would be so unfortunate to see.
Yeah, Vanish is cracking out right now. Finds 3. That is really big. They're going to have a pretty sizable lead going into the second half. They have strong side in the first half, but I think one thing to make note of is they won that initial gunfight, and they got that B cap right away, and they have held it the entire time. That is definitely a sign of a team that is playing really, really well together, slowing down rotations, preventing that spawn flip, and this is going to give them a fair advantage yet going into the second half. Op 34, they're not limited to 75 points in the second half, but Carnage are playing this game 3 solid right now.
Yep, Carnage knows how to play this map really well, and it's something that you don't really get to see that often. Crossfire and Domination. Yes, we've seen Crossfire and Hardpoint already in this map, but that's not going to be something that you get to see quite often, especially because it's so hard to actually play. But Op 34 losing a very big gunfight here in Bravo, and that gives the opportunity for Carnage to get Bravo yet again on the weak side. Op 34 seems to be like they don't want to do anything with Charlie, goes for that alpha flag, and I don't know what I don't like what I'm seeing. Carnage is going for Charlie. They're probably going to cap that, and that
I'm
is going to power
very
back.
confused with you, I promise. I'm very, very confused. But the C flip comes in. Well, it's not over. I'm pretty comfortable saying this one is just about over at this point. The strong C flip comes through for some reason by Op 34, who just way over pushed their welcome into A, and basically freely gave that spawn C side up to the side of Carnage, who obviously came through with a lead in that first half. And well, crossing into the 100-point mark, we're only a couple seconds out of triple cap territory at this point for the side of Op 34, and this is not a triple cap map.
Yeah, it's a very hard map to go in triple cap just because of how huge it is, but they're having such a solid hold in Bravo. They're not even letting one person in. They weren't even able to get Bravo just for 1 second. So Vanish, especially popping off, really just proves that she is good in both search and destroy and respawns as well. But today, it seems like search and destroy is not her game. Really just gaining a lot of the points though. She's having that turnaround here in Domination, but a very strong turnaround here. But then Bravo finally getting picked, finally getting touched by Op 34, but at this point, they need to go in triple cap if they want to really just win this.
Yeah, we do need a couple seconds of triple cap, as you guys can see on the scoreboard. We're at 120, so 30 points left for the side of Carnage, and well over double that left for Op 34, so it's a bad position to be in. The B cap is coming back through, the C flip does get stopped. This is definitely a difficult one. They do stop the B cap, but again, they are in need of a C and an A, and holding both of those is dang near impossible at this on this map. So I've pretty much got to be ready to call it here, because there's not a lot of hope left, if you ask me, for Op 34. And the worst part is, if they just won that hard point, they could have won 2-0. They'd have been in a really good spot. They would have had more than a full game or game days worth of points ahead of the two teams that are in last right now. And man, only picking up 5 here, not ideal.
Not ideal indeed, and they dropped it at quite literally the very last seconds of that hardpoint game. And with Crossfire, it's just hard to make a comeback here just because of how far everything is spawned. They favored Alpha in the second half, where they actually spawned off into the better side, something that I don't know why they actually did. Every single time that we actually go and see a play here in Crossfire, you would always want Charlie, and for them to choose it, that is just something that is very questionable. And finally, we end things right now with a very beautiful win, a dominating win here in Domination. Crossfire Carnage definitely won this today. They did win the tournament just for today. I feel like this is probably the best matches that we've seen here so far. So very impressed here. It's pretty hard to top that hardpoint game.
Yeah, and we mentioned right from the beginning that this matchup had probably our most potential to go to Game 3 tonight, so I'm glad we got to see it. But again, Op 34, I don't know what the A flip was about, especially after they lost the first half on the A side. So A little bit of a rough performance, but it is going to be Carnage picking up the 2-1 victory. That's going to net them 15 points here tonight. So, good position for them. They're like well locked into going into at least the quarterfinals. So, big opportunities for them. Op 34. They pick up 5. They did pick up the search and destroy in a long, hard-fought game. But again, if they would have picked up that hard point and then won the search and destroy and just had that 2-0 victory, which they should have had, man, they could have basically secured their spot in finals week at that point, and it's still up for grabs at this point. So, and that's just the end of game or series 2, isn't it?
Yeah, and that just basically sums up everything. And we're done here. That is our last match for Op 34 and Carnage. And that was just so good. We can end the day here just because of how great it actually was. But obviously, we have more spicy games for you guys right ARP and NYX. So obviously, that's going to be our number 1 and number 3 seed. But with ARP just losing against Honeybees, knowing very well that Honeybees struggled going up against NYX, not looking good for them. But today seems to be like it's the underdog day where Op 34 almost got that win for Hardpoint, got that win for SND. That is going to be very impressive. And hopefully ARP gets a map off of NYX. Just fingers crossed we get to see that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And in addition to the the ARP versus NYX matchup, we are also going to have Truly Girls versus Nyla. So make sure you guys stick around for that. We are going to take a short break. We'll be back as soon as we possibly can for you. So make sure you guys check out our outdated battle pass here. We'll get the new assets from COD Mobile as soon as we can. But this is what we've got. And we'll get you guys into the next game as soon as we possibly can.
Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life. Crying dove.
All right, guys, we are back, and this is probably the matchup most of you have been waiting for tonight. But I gotta say, that last matchup with Op34 and Carnage was absolutely fantastic, down to the wire. But obviously, when you have two of the top three teams facing off, that's definitely going to bring a lot of your hype. That's going to bring a lot of your excitement. That's going to be the matchup that most people are going to want to see. And while I got to say, after seeing Honeybees beat ARP and seeing NYX beat Honeybees so single-handedly, I definitely expect this to be in favor of NYX. But ARP is definitely not a team that you can sleep on. So NYX have to take this one seriously because ARP will punish you for the mistakes you make.
You are absolutely right. And I just lost my mind a while ago, almost having a full-blown letdown in our matchup against Carnage and Op34. So I think I'm going to lose my mind again here in ARP and NYX just because of how great both of these teams are. They've been performing so well. But like what we keep saying a while ago, ARP, they're a little bit in the, I guess in the shorter end of the stick just because of how well they've been doing so far. But once they actually saw Honeybees, that's when they kind of faltered just a little bit. But we know NYX is definitely going to be the Goliath of the competition here so far. So that's a lot of things to put in your plate. A lot of things to actually go and step up. But if we've been seeing it so far, if Op34 can step up, I'm pretty sure ARP can do so as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have our map picks and bans ready, so we're going to go ahead and hop into this one. And I'm one right off the bat that stands out, and that is going to be a Summit hardpoint. If we make it into Game 2, we'll have Search and Destroy on Standoff. Make it to Game 3, or if we make it to Game... When we make it to Game 2, we'll have Standoff, Search and Destroy. If we make it to Game 3, we'll have Raid Domination with ARP banning off Crossfire, NYX banning off Hackney Yard, and then the Kinetic and the Annihilator are our bans here. And I feel like you probably have a bit to say about our first map here being Summit.
Oh yeah, I have so much to say, and it's very scary for me right now for ARP just because Summit has been the baby of NYX. They've been playing 3 maps already in Hardpoint, always to perfection. Their opponents can't even cross the 100-point mark, not cross the 80-point mark. So that's a lot of things to actually go, and this is a really steep mountain that they have to climb. A very strong start right now from ARP. It's a good thing they're winning their gunfights, but again, with a response already very early on from NYX.
Hardpoint contested.
And Aerith has a really aggressive topside rotation here. Does find one, might be rotating over to find a couple more as well. Almost finds Azula. Azula is 1 HP. Mass is also 1 HP. Oh, Aerith is nasty with it. Picks up the shorty kill as well. And that is going to secure a lot of map control over to the side of... Oh my goodness, Aerith. Absolutely cracked, coming through with a double kill there. I knew she was going to be a spicy one to watch right out of the gate here for a Summit. As you mentioned, this has been their map. So I feel bad for ARP right now.
Yeah, and that is just difficult to actually go and play, knowing very well how you can see here NYX just plays it to perfection. Agabu, here we go. Aerith already with the Fred missile, having a very amazing streak to her name, having 0 deaths. 9 kills already, 7 combo right there. She can actually have the potential to have a nuke. Gets 1 more, and there you go, 8 streak. Needs 12 more to actually go and get that nuki dookie, but gets denied just like that.
Yeah, and as you guys can see on the board, Mass is struggling right now, sitting down at 0-6, but we do have several players of ARP working out quite well. Kira with 8, DeBlur with 5 as well. Aerith, as you mentioned, was knocked off her potential nuke streak, but does have a Goliath coming into play. And I gotta say, I feel like this is just a, well, I want to use my Goliath so I can get another one, because that was a weird place to call the Goliath.
Because we don't get to see a Goliath this early on the hard point. So yeah, the reason why she actually brought it in was because she wants another one. So having and securing that P2 already, knowing very well you're going to get all of the points, is going to be very smart for you to use. Usually we get to see that in the P3 or even in P4, but the fact that you are Aerith and you are cracked to actually get a Goliath that early on the game, Yagabu as well is going to be at a very great spot. Yagabu with 14, same as Aerith already. Lydiag's only having 2 kills, so that's going to be very surprising, but you are going to be at a team where you're just all Goliaths and everyone can just
To be
perform
fair,
so well.
Lydia is playing across a fairly large pond.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. The ping is probably going to be absolutely just terrible for her.
Yeah, definitely not going to be favorable, especially in a shooter where a split second can cause so much to change. But Aerith finally going to get taken out of her Goliath, but not before it is a NYX 70+ point lead. So excellent play coming out of the side of NYX. Mass was able to pick up 3 kills, but Azula and Diego struggling so hard at this point. Haven't been able to pick up a kill in quite a while. Azula's 3-9. Diego is 2-14. Honestly, at this point, just feeding streaks over to the side of NYX, who has several players approaching the 20 kill mark. So I'm feeling like this summit map is probably just about over. It was a pretty big retake for the side of ARP there, but you can see that NYX, they're getting set up for next. They've got operators, they've got score streaks available, and I don't see them giving up this one easy. It'd be a miracle to me if ARP were able to win this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen everything here, and a very solid hold here into P4, with the assistance, obviously, right now, of the sentry gun already. Chagabu gets 1. That's going to be a very hard case, because the solid defense right now from NYX is just absolutely undeniable. Mass getting grid right now of 1 player, but then Lydiax with the response. So it's every single thing going down, the rotations, the gunfights, everything is like the individual plays right now from the players of NYX. Just the reason why they're just so strong here in Summit is because of how much map control, the map awareness that they have here. This map is just crazy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and like I said, it is going to be hard for the side of ARP to make the break here. Most of the hard point is gone, but they do finally get a little bit of time to contest here towards the end. Aerith comes through with a double. It is going to be Mass with a big triple, though. It's going to give them an opportunity to pick up a couple seconds of scrap, but I mean, at this point in time, we're looking at a 90-point lead for the side of NYX, so we're looking to close this one out quick.
But then, we can see here, if the fight is still not done, as P1 is going to be contested, really big kills, but then, just like that, it's going to be for the side now of NYX. They're just looking so great with every single hard point. Oh, actually, you know what? Every single game mode that they go and play against. So, Chagabu having that 16, really looking to close things out. It's not going to be enough for them to go in here. 47 and 150. Dominating start yet again from NYX, and the only team that can sort of touch them here is Honeybees, having that 70-150, but it's just not enough for all these teams to bring down the Goliath that is NYX.
Yeah, definitely a hard one to watch, but again, this is NYX's, this is definitely their hardpoint map. They perform the best on this map, whether they like the map or not, they play it well. And, I don't think I got to go into a lot of detail here for the hard point. You've got 2 players well into 20 kills working on 30 at 26 and 27th for Yagabu and Aerith. Nagabu at 18, Chagabu at 16. Lydia struggling quite a bit here in comparison, down at 8 and 16. Not something we normally see out of her, but again, there is a pretty large body of water between us. So definitely have to imagine there's a little bit of a ping issue going on there. Looking at the side of ARP, you've got DeBlur positive at 19 and 16, and that is it. Kira, pretty close at 17 and 21, but from there it falls off like the edge of a cliff. 8 and 23 for Mass, 6 and 21 for Diego, and Azula struggling massively down at 3 kills and 15 deaths. So, that is absolutely the tide of how the game went. Even though the P3 break did come through momentarily for the side of ARP, it was all control of NYX the whole time. They won those last 30 or so seconds on P3, but NYX, they set their streaks up on P4. They got ready. They went ahead and played as a team. And phenomenal performance coming out of both of these teams here. Definitely looking forward to the search coming up next because, you know, I feel like ARP a little better in search. Not necessarily saying they're a little better than NYX in search, but I feel like they stand a bigger chance in search.
Oh yeah, Search and Destroy is definitely going to be a game where you can go and pick up a lot of those points, especially if you didn't have a really good match number one. We've seen already in the last game where we saw Op34 just drop it by 2 points, but then they were able to actually go and win that Search and Destroy. So this is the point where ARP can actually go in there, get a lot of these kills. Standoff though, ARP hasn't played in this map, so they might actually have a hard time just because we don't know how they go and perform here. NYX on the other hand hasn't played Search and Destroy here as well, so again, there's still a lot of things into consideration. My face is always just blurred. My hands a lot and really just stop the cam. But anyway,
I waited for you to fix it. I waited for you to fix it.
thank
People
you
didn't
so
have to
much.
sit
You're
there
so
and looked at paused on me, but
This is why I love Day. He always just looks out for me every time like I have this technical issue. So going back into the game, both of these teams, like what I said, haven't played standoff yet here in Search and Destroy. So I'm interested to see how they actually go and position themselves, how they play it. Just because we've seen it already in the past few matches from different teams though. But to see it here from the top dog in our top 3 seed will definitely be interesting.
yeah, and I gotta say, if NYX just win the 2-0 here, I think it's probably without a doubt that they come through and win the whole thing, just because of how dominant they have been this entire time. But we're getting into it. We didn't do any listen-ins last time, guys. Sorry about that. That was totally on me. I meant to, and just things fell apart. We're rocking and rolling into this next game. Kira comes through with one on to Lydia there.
Well, it's because it was such an exciting game. That's why we weren't able to go into the listen-in, but hopefully we get to see that today. A very big kill nonetheless. We see one person down already for NYX. So unlike them to actually go and lose that gunfight. But how well they can actually go and utilize this one person up, one woman up, is up to them. The Blur, though. Really big kill. There you go. Evening things out. Nagabu is out of the equation. Needs to see one more. Yagabu is going to be in trouble if she goes and pushes it. But no, it's a good thing she backs away. One person in the gas station though is going to be very interesting just because of how far she actually needs to go in for the rotation. I think that's going to be Chagabu. Yeah, so Chelsea is going in for the backstab.
Yeah, definitely looking like a ARP round 1 win. Chagabu's looking for a snipe on the back, but not going to be able to find any progress towards that bomb. And ARP, they're going to pick up the first round here in Search and Destroy, already starting to look more alive because that was not a close round. That was ARP winning that round. They found an opening pick. They got an early bomb plant. They followed that up with another very, very quick kill in succession. And that gave them the 3 versus 5 advantage very, very early on.
Yep, they are alive, awake, and enthusiastic to actually go and play this round. One big opening kill, though. Nagabu gets rid of Azula, and one more down. 2 more girls left for ARP. This is the response that they needed, and they did not like that win of ARP going in there. 1v5
oh my
situation.
goodness.
Nagabu with a double kill. Really having a very amazing and aggressive start. Now, this is the NYX that we know. They went in for such an early shutdown, and ARP just couldn't really respond well enough in time.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, that is a little bit more what we expected to see out of the side of NYX. Nagabu came through with a giant round for them there. Just about a max range shorty kill there to open this round up as well, but the refrag comes through from Azula. Azula finds a second as well onto Chels. I switch off Nagabu and she gets a double kill. Well, this girl is cracked!
That girl's just absolutely just crazy. Nagabu doing so much already damage here. 6 kills already to her name. Lydiax having 0. Chagabu having 0. So unlike them. But then they still have woman advantage. Azula and Kira are the only people left. But it looks like Kira might actually be able to go in there. Bomb is going to be going down though. So they need to go and get the bomb. Hopefully get that plant. But here we go. It's going to be broken walls yet again. But then gets killed off just like that. And it's going to be an advantage right now for the side of NYX.
Yeah, just happened to catch Aerith finishing off the quickscope there at the end. And gonna close that round out. It was a difficult position to be in for the side of ARP. You had bomb down in mid-building. You had Aerith top blue looking for snipes. You had, I believe it was Yagabu and Nicole chilling with shorties in mid-building. I mean, that was not going to be a fun one to break, no matter what route you took. You do have a couple players pushing up pretty far here.
Ira. It's going to be an A-bomb site. The only person left in her team to actually go and do that
Oh my
loses the
goodness.
gunfight. Chagaboo with a really big kill. Mass, though, with a response. It is going to be a 3v3 situation. Everything is even. Everything can be at the side of
Look at the
ARP
bomb
right now.
rotation from
I
ARP.
know the bomb rotation. Yeah, look at that.
This is
It's going to
smart.
be very far up. Smart, but she needs to go in for that duo. Just because one person might just go and stop that, but then it's a good thing for her. Everyone else from NYX are going to be positioned here in Alpha. So they need to go in there very passively, though. The rotation is going to be key. They seem to be like they know where the bomb is going to be going down. And this is what I'm saying. You need to wait for your teammates to go in there. But then it's a good thing that the Blur wins the fight. Yayo as well. And just like that, it's going to be a 3v1 situation in favor right now of... Wait, who's this? Oh, yes! Oh, goodness! That was actually really good. They were able to actually go and spot one person going here for Bravo. ARP, really good plays here so far.
Enemy contact.
Bomb has been planted.
Yeah, there's going to be Yagaboo in a 1 versus 3 fighting against the clock. It's definitely possible. We have seen some pretty gnarly clutches. I don't know if you were able to catch any of the series I casted last night, but Envoy, one of our favorite LATAM players here, was able to clutch up a 1 versus 5 by only killing 3 of the players. He got a ninja defuse. It's pretty amazing game. So sometimes you can see some of those really exciting clutches, but that one's not going to be the one for Yagaboo, who is going to be a little bit behind here. And it was looking like a B rotation coming through from ARP, but NYX, they were there, they were lined up. I can't switch to anybody fast enough. And 3 kills cleanly go over to the side of NYX, and they are going to decidedly win this final round shy of a mirror. Oh, the barrel stuff from Azula could be enough.
No. That is enough to actually go and clutch up this round. ARP, with Azula really just popping off, needs to go in with her teammate, needs to get the bomb, or else they might have a hard time. 1 minute, though, is still a lot of time, but if they really want to clutch this up, they need to go and stick together. They finally get the bomb. Everyone else from NYX is going to be spread out, though. But just as her back is going to be turned, it's going to be one big kill from Yagaboo.
Yeah, it's going to leave Azula in a 1 versus 3, who would essentially find an ace here if she was able to clutch it up. Aerith going to climb over, has the MX-9 in hand, going to pick up the easy kill there, and as we mentioned earlier, is definitely a pretty difficult matchup even for ARP in Search and Destroy. But I gotta say, they are definitely putting in work against NYX. They are not looking scared at all. And there's a real possibility where we could see a game 3 here, and that would be possibly one of the more exciting things of the night, just to see NYX lose a game, you know?
Yeah, I know, and it's as dark as it seems, and it's
I
not
don't mean it
likely that
maliciously.
No, obviously, but then it's funny how we want to see a team just lose, just because of how well they've been doing here so far, just because it makes it just a little bit more interesting, right? So a team that actually kind of came close to having a lot of points against NYX was Honeybees, getting 3 rounds, so it's a very big possibility that ARP can actually go and do that. But then off this rotation going into NYX, it's going to be very difficult as they're going to be backed up here. And just like that, Agaboo with a really big snipe. So a 4v3 situation, still very doable if they get things right. Need backup.
Rotations are coming through. Mass is going to be taking a couple shots there. Does pick up the kill on Chagaboo as Chels pushes in a little too far. Didn't spectate Lydia, but Lydia does come through with a snipe as well. Going to bring things to a 3 versus 2 ARP. They're on defense, so they don't have control of bomb at this point in time. And that is going to be a little bit more of a struggle because Aerith is getting the B plant. This is a really smart decision. You know, you have knowledge that both of your enemies are just camping out in wall as well as or in cubby as well as on the bomb, and Aerith finds Mass off the head glitch, and Yagaboo is there for the follow-up. 4-2 lead going over to the side of NYX.
It's that Mass and Aerith duo lineup that we actually got to see. When you are going to be there in that certain spot, knowing very well that you almost got picked up the first time, best believe the second time you will die. And Mass staying there in that bomb not even just moving, still saying the same stuff, knowing very well that Bravo is going to be planted already. Not quite sure if that was the best thing to actually go in there playing too passively, knowing very well that you are going to be getting spotted once more. Speaking of getting spotted, Agabu does see one, but I think it was her teammate, so that's already pretty fair. But then one person already going down, Nagabu, is going to be going down for NYX, and this might be a real challenge right now for them to actually go and get, but then, with the assist, Agabu gets one. And let's see what's going to happen next with 2v4 situation in favor of ARP.
Yeah, Kira came through with a really big double kill here in mid building, and if you look at the map, we have one on tank and one on the attack side at Haybal's just chilling. And Kira has got to be calling out to her team. She's got bomb down. She knows it's there. She's camping it out with a shorty. This is not a good position to be in for NYX. They do have the lead, and they don't lose the lead by losing this round, but definitely closes the gap a little bit. Oh, Kira, you gotta win that one. You had the shorty out. Why did you give up on the shorty life? You've got to believe in the brokenness of bad programming.
Yeah, that was definitely so broken and should have won that gunfight. You gotta win those individual gunfights, and that's why I believe in this 2v3 situation is still very doable for NYX to actually go and clutch this up. And it's a really good response from ARP. I'm pretty impressed, but it's gonna be very hard. Agabu gets deleted. The Blur finally gets a shot with the MX9. Yeah, this is not looking good for NYX. I'm really impressed with the responses of ARP here so far with every single gunfight that they have, every single round. They're not giving up. They want to get this win. It's a 4-3. This is like closer than any other team has gone right now. If they cross over into that 4-round win, I will definitely be very impressed with ARP if they can actually go and get in there. But finally, gets to see a very interesting push, a 3-2 split going in here. Needs to go down with the trophy system. Saves their life just like that, just in the nick of time.
Yeah, we do have a concussion coming through onto Chagabu, but it doesn't matter. Aerith is here to find a big snipe. Nagabu gonna find another. Chels comes through with the kill on the mass. Line him up, knock him down. Azula is gonna be the last remaining member, and Lydia gonna pick that one up.
Nice work.
Did Azula not see the one person going in through there, going through that wall? But you know what? It's just going to be very hard to clutch up, knowing very well the pressure is going to be on you. You are a 1v3 situation where 3 NYX girls in your presence, so that's definitely going to have some sort of a mental trauma on you if you do get to clutch that up. But if ever they do get one person down, the Blur, big kills as usual. Lydiags will be going down. A 4v5 situation, still very doable for here to clutch up, but then just like that, very big double kill from Chagabu, and Nagabu gets a kill as well, bringing things down to a 4v2.
Yeah, definitely saw some body shooting with the shorty coming out of Nicole as well, so we'll have to see if any of that is return fire later on down the road. Diego almost able to pick up one. Aerith gonna find the refrag. Diego just absolutely hard chilling in spawn. Can't find all of the kills, and NYX gonna close it out in a 2-0 victory, 6-3 here in the search and destroy. That is definitely quite a bit what we expected in this matchup, just because, again, how dominant NYX have been, especially their defeat over Honeybees. Honeybees beat ARP, so this is definitely what we expected, but I gotta say, for the search at least, ARP put up a good fight. They definitely spiced some of those rounds up, but NYX just look unstoppable at this point in time.
Yeah, it's very hard to stop a team that has been doing well here, and knowing very well that they've been using the sniper to perfection. We didn't really get to see a very big sniper presence for ARP. Azula would usually be that person, but being the bottom frag and not really performing as well as she would be, that is definitely going to be a little bit disappointing. But we've already seen it already from a mile away. We hoped that a map would be dropped for NYX, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. So you're going up against a team that knows how to use every single gun in the game, right? You give a sniper to Lydia, a sniper to Chagabu, sniper to every single one of these NYX girls. That is supposed to be a lesson for you, knowing very well the past few days that they are just absolutely cracked there. That's the only way that you can actually beat NYX in Search and Destroy, is if you buff yourselves up using that sniper, just because we've seen so many sniper kills here already so far.
Yeah, definitely, and you can see on the board it was largely Nicole and Aerith coming through with the big carry for the team. Not saying the rest of the team didn't do their work. You know, you look over at Yagabu with 6, Chagabu with 6 as well, Lydia with 3, but it definitely seems like Lydia might be struggling a little bit here, so got to give her with connection. Struggling a little bit with connection, just to put that absolute clarification out there. But ARP. Again, a phenomenal, phenomenal team. NYX is just in a different league. Absolutely in a different league.
Yeah, and we keep talking about NYX just because of how good they really are, and they really deserve the credit. We give credit where credit is due. And for the side of ARP, we can't give them that yet. And it's a really good start. The fact that you are top 3, right? And you are going up against a team like NYX that can go up against the likes of really top teams like Tribe. You can basically just throw it at them, give them a hard time, and that's a really big step up for an all-girls team. That's why we have this tournament here so far, just because we want to show everyone that yes, we can do this. We can be as good as the all-boys team, right? And it really doesn't matter with the gender, obviously, but it's like moments like these where it encourages women to really go in there to play in esports, to know that you can be an e-pro, right? You can be an esports pro player and just basically do such a good job. And NYX is showing everyone that they can play as hard as the boys.
Yeah, they absolutely can. We're going to take a short break, guys, as we get ready for our next matchup, which is going to be Truly versus Nyla. And I got to say, I have some suspicions that this could potentially be a really good series as well, depending on how well Nyla and Truly show up. Nyla obviously struggled quite a bit, but so has Truly across the board. So I've heard good things about Nyla, but I've seen good things for Truly. So I've got high hopes for them. But yeah, we'll be back from a short break here momentarily, guys. We casters got to hydrate sometimes, but we'll get you into the action as soon as we can.
May never fly. It's black and white. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white. Come on, baby. Love, no more, baby. Black and white. Come on, baby. Love, no more, baby. It's black and white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white. White, white, white. It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 black and white. It's black and white.
All right, guys, we are back for our final match of the night, and as you guys could see, for that unfortunately long wait, it is going to be Truly versus Nyla here tonight. We've heard really good things about Nyla. We've seen some really good things come out of the side of Truly, but Truly have found their struggles time and time again. Maybe today is the day that they can pull things together. Just based off the standings, neither of these teams is out of the running. Op 34 girls are in 6th place, which is the last cutoff for quarterfinals. They've got 15 points. So if one of these teams wins 2-0, boom, they're in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And truly, every single day, and we've had 5 days here so far, they've lost it every single round. And for Nyla, though, they've had a very late appearance at this competition going into that day 5 spotlight is on them. Just because we've only seen one round, they did go against Carnage. It was a pretty bad sweep. They did lose the Crossfire 150 to 67 and in Search and Destroy. A very strong sweep by Carnage yet again, 6-0. So not a very great start for Nyla, but it is their first matchup. We always give them a little bit of slack. So today they gotta perform. And this side for Truly, they need to perform as well, just because they've been here for so long already, still not getting any points. So it's a really good start for Nyla to really just try to dethrone Truly into possibly getting into that 6th spot. But for Truly, again, if you've been not performing well in the past few weeks, this is a time to actually go and perform and basically shut down Nyla.
Yeah, definitely going to be the case. And we do have our map selections between these two teams. So that does look like we're going to start things off with another Summit hardpoint here tonight. We'll be moving into a standoff search and destroy, and if we make it to a game 3, we will have a firing range on Domination. Our operator bands are the Annihilator and the Sparrow, so I believe this is the first time we've had the kinetic armor make it through tonight.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they actually go and get to use that. Summit is definitely going to be a perfect map to go and use the kinetic armor. You can see here, Object already sporting that here so far. Every single one of these girls are actually going to sport the kinetic armor. So everyone else, except for, I think, just a few girls, I think, from the side right now of Nyla can actually go in there. But Flow Girl is definitely going to be a girl that we will get our eyes on. She's been such a team player for Nyla. And everyone else, equalizer or I think a death machine, so that's going to be very impressive. But for everyone else, actually for Truly, they're sporting that kinetic armor, so I don't know if that defensive strategy, it might work out for them.
Yeah, we will have to see as both teams are making their rotation over towards P1. Flow Girls, Sugar Babe picking up 1 each. But it is going to be Truly with a couple big refrags coming through there. Definitely anybody's game between these two teams. We obviously saw Nyla struggle on Tuesday, and obviously we've seen Truly struggle quite a bit. But we're definitely going to be keeping our eye out for Storm and Wonderful, who have been absolutely nuts for the side of Truly. And right now, it is a 19-point lead for the side of Nyla.
Nyla looking very great, and this is what I'm saying a while ago with the operator skills, right? If you're a little bit too defensive with your ops, how are you gonna fight fire with just the defense that they have? So hopefully they get to evening things out later. They only have one person with the death machine, so I'm not quite sure if I'd like to see that, but hopefully they get to win all of their gunfights if ever they do get that. So rotation is going to be going on right now from the side of Nyla, and also Truly going into P2. Very strong start though. Gabby gets a 2-piece. K as well gets rid of Flow Girl. Might be able to actually go and get there. The pinch is going to ensue here in bottom control room, so hopefully we get to see Truly break.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Obviously P3 going to be your biggest money hill on this, or P3, P4. You could go back and forth on either one. They both have kind of finicky spawns at times, but definitely some pretty difficult ones to overcome. As you can see, we do have the sentry gun down for the side of Nyla, who are looking to keep the side of Truly off that objective, but can't quite find it. Oh no, Gabby runs out of ammo with the kinetic armor in front of her, somehow gets saved by her teammate. And it is going to be the side of Nyla picking up some remaining time before getting picked off there, but if you're Truly at this point, you need to be looking for that rotation for P3 spawns, and we don't have anybody over there, or even pushing alongside.
Absolutely. Object was the only person left to actually go and contest that. But you were absolutely right with rotation going to P3. This is where we usually see things turn around for teams that struggle, or even just for teams that really make a lot of rotations going in there early on. You get awarded with that early rotation going into P3. This is going to be that money, like we keep saying time and time again, just because of the spawn right there. And you can see a very solid hold, a very solid break right now from Truly. Finally getting a lot of these points going over right now, 48 and 41. It's still doable for Nyla right now to go in for the contest and maybe get a bunch of these points. And they actually went in there for the early rotation, but they just couldn't with their gunfights.
Oh my goodness, Wonderful finds 2 that she had no right to win. And it is Truly now with the lead, 20 points in their favor. A big, big turnaround for the girls over here on Truly. And Wonderful making a really solid rotation. Look at this early push on over to try to anchor spawns, but Does look like the side of Nyla might know and be ready for that. As you can see, 3 of them falling back, not wanting to push in to fight over those last couple seconds of time. Oh no, wonderful spawn so far out. Oh yikes, I hate this map.
Yeah, this map
just
is
'cause the
just
spawns.
exactly, like you get to spawn off just because it's such a long map, kind of like what Crossfire is actually in terms of that hard point. So a very strong hold right now from Nyla. That's what I like to see. They've been doing so well with the rotation so far, and it's usually the catch-up gameplay going into Truly. They always need to win those. But then the good thing about Truly, they always win those gunfights. They know how to flush out Nyla in this hard point, even though they do have the late rotation. So very good for them. 56 and 80. Still very doable for Nyla to really make a comeback, especially going the rotation into P1.
Yeah, it is absolutely still possible for either of these teams to win. We've got about a 15-point lead right now for the side of Truly, but that is not very comfortable here in P4, especially one that you're struggling so hard to maintain spawns for. Flowgirl coming through with a big kill there. Gabby and Cheeky coming through with kills as well, and it's looking like we might go into our second rotation of P1 with possibly a tie game.
Yep, and there you go. The tie game is already there. 81 and 81 from both of these teams, but every single one of these members right now from Truly are already positioned into P1. Really strong hold. 3 girls already for the OBJ and for the Slay, and all they need to do is just to hold that defensive strategy on. They've been doing so well at infiltrating, even though the rotations are going to be very late. It doesn't really matter because they can break the hill so easily. Now the contest is going to be going on from Nyla, but they need to go in there. They need to touch the hard point. The defense is just too solid here. 99 and 81. It seems like we can see Truly finally shining here in this hard point.
Yeah, at least trying to, but still anybody's game. We have Sugar Babe rotating in through the back. Equalizers in hand. Picks up kill number 19 before getting taken down by Object, who I don't think I gave enough credit for how strong they are on this side of Truly, but Ray with a big refrag here. Not quite able to make the break into point, but is going to take some bodies down, force some respawns out. As we get ready to rotate over to P2, it's once again a 20-point lead or so for the side of Truly. And even deny those last couple seconds, so they'll have about a 23-point lead going into the second.
Impressive turnaround for Truly, and they've been doing so well, but the rotation needs to come through for the side of NL, for Nyla. And you know what, Nyla, they've been doing an okay job, and the rotations are going to be there, but it's going to be hard. NYLA has been doing an okay job ever since we've started in the second half of this game, and I know they've been on the offense so far, but they're just losing on their gunfights, and they always need to go and push in that defense. They've been struggling, and offensively though, it's Truly always on the map, always on the kill feed.
Yeah, that has largely been the case. Machiko coming out with a death machine here. Pred missile is used by Wonderful, but the kills get soaked up, and Truly might be looking to find their first map win here. They've only got about 10 points to go. A Pred missile does come in from Sugar Babe and picks up 1. 20 kills on the board for her. Actually, we'll go ahead and pop the scoreboard up. Flowgirl up at 21, but it's Object and Storm who have been absolutely destroying. Storm's at 35 and 16.
Hardpoint lost. We've taken the lead. Hostiles have destroyed your sentry gun.
Does appear we may have temporarily lost Beef Bommy there, but it is going to be the one to
sorry.
You're good.
Sorry, my mic just bugged out. I was already ready to actually go and close it off, but then here we go. Storm with that 30 bomb. And I've been just so impressed with what I've seen with Truly. They struggled in the first 2 hills and even in the third. So they've been doing so well. It's the third hill, and even though they had late rotations going to P3 and P4, that's when they were able to go and get a lot of these points. And after that, it was on the side of Nyla that actually got late rotation. So really good fight though. They almost reached into that 100-point mark. 97 is not that bad of a score, but if they want to go and qualify for our semis, they need to do more, and it's a lot of pressure for them to perform after here in the Search and Destroy standoff. So let's take a look at what happened in that that Summit hardpoint. They did so well into early rotations in that first half of the game, but they couldn't defend it properly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like I said, Storm was just winning their gunfights, and There's not much more you can say to it than that. I mean, this is some of the better gameplay that we have seen out of Truly as a team in general, so definitely got to give them credit there. Nyla, a team that we heard good things about, but didn't really get to see a lot of that on Tuesday. Definitely a team that you can tell has some potential behind them for sure. But I got to say, I believe 2 of the names that were specifically mentioned to me that were really good players from this team, I haven't seen either day yet, so that could be a factor as well. In fact, I think one of them, Nathy, we saw on a different team earlier altogether, so that could be a pretty big factor as well. But we'll be getting ready to get into our next game as soon as we possibly can for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a very wonderful show, a very wonderful performance. And for Wonderful, you usually get to see Wonderful just pop off into Hardpoint, but you don't really get to see that now. She's going to be bottom frag, but this is where you're going to be seeing her really just shine. It's usually Search and Destroy that she actually gets to have those beautiful snipes, and Nyla, we still have to see a very good sniper presence on their team. And granted, yes, this is only their second appearance here in this competition, so that's why we don't know yet, and hopefully we get to see that. It's usually Sugar Babe that gets to have a lot of kills here for Search and Destroy, but hopefully they finally get to have their rhythm, because so far it truly seems to have that.
Yeah, we are waiting on one player to load in, guys. We'll get you into the action as soon as we can, but I can't control the internet speeds these players have. I do apologize for that, but I am not Techno Jesus.
Techno Jesus, I love that. I feel like that's a really great IGN. You should probably change that in your Call of Duty Mobile. If it's not taken yet, y'all should probably get it. Change it into Techno Jesus. I want to change my name to Beef Jesus. Techno beef techno or whatever. But yeah, this is going to be definitely a spicy game as we are finally lobbying things up. We're going to be starting things off here and Search and Destroy here in Standoff. We've seen this map already played a while ago in the NYX, so hopefully we get to see very spicy gameplay.
I'm trying to remember who our starting sniper is besides Wonderful. I feel like we normally have 2 on the side of Truly, but only seeing 1 right now. And for the opposition, it's going to be Flow Girl, who might be looking to get a little bit into the flow state, as Bobby might say. But Object going to come through with a big kill on Sugar Babe. Gabby was also picked off as well. Ray, with a rotation from the side, is going to pick up 1, picks up 2 as well, before getting refragged out by Storm, who has been absolutely cracked today. Already got 2 on the board for Search, and getting a bomb plant to her name as well.
Storm is going to be such a force to be reckoned with, not only in response, but also in Search and Destroy, and she wants to make it rain. Already having a very strong start. Truly is going to have a very impressive run. Storm with 2 kills, K with 1. Wonderful, yet to have 1 more, but then they need to go in there. Wonderful spots Flow Girl, needs to get that kill. Doesn't really quite connect it, doesn't quite see. The one person's gonna be there. Potatoes, a shot, and there you go. Flow Girl might actually be able to go and clutch this up, but no, with the denial, and Storm with 3 kills in that first round.
Yeah, really, really solid round for the side of Truly there. They picked up their first map win. They might be able to pick up a series win too if they keep this action up. Pretty solid round for them. It was a... they didn't lose out on 3, so it wasn't like flawless or anything, but it was definitely something well enough to be said. Flow Girl comes through with a good flick. Sugar Babe with a double. Gabby finds a 4th. What happened? Truly fell apart. Wonderful. Gonna find 1, takes a couple of hit markers, gonna have to heal up. As you can see, she's taken off trying to get that health back. Let's pop over to her perspective real quick. Oh no, gets a hit marker. Oh, the feels bad moment there. Oh no.
Dang it. And I thought she was gonna able to clutch that. 1v5 would have been so nice, but Wonderful with a hit marker, that just did her nasty. Pulls out the shorty, but it wasn't enough. The range was just a little bit too much as Ray finishes the job. And that was a very surprising turnaround for Truly, and I feel like it was just a little bit too much aggression. You usually don't get to see people go in there for the mid push, but then Wonderful with an amazing snipe already to kick things off.
Yeah, misses number 2, but has Cheeky pinned down in the deli here. Gonna come through and find that one. It's gonna bring things back to a 3 versus 3. Machiko comes through with 1 onto Ray. It's going to leave Sugar Babe and Gabby in a 2 versus 3. And the bomb plant is going down on the B bomb site as well, so Truly can dictate a little bit of a pace of how the rest of this round goes. They have a big opportunity here. Object finds one onto Sugar Babe. It is going to be Gabby left and
Lost that round, but it's
kills
not over
herself
yet.
on a trophy
Ready
system.
up.
I hate it when that happens. Every time I play rank and I get killed with a trophy system, I am for sure gonna just leave the game. I don't care if I get minus points, but then that is just a nasty way to go out. So again, a very interesting push going in through the backside now. Back alley seems to be like the name of the game, but no, they're actually just gonna be checking nade spawns over here. They're gonna be stun checking the house down, but sadly for them, no one's actually going to be here in the back end of the map. And back alley seems to be like such a tricky spot to actually go and infiltrate, but it's a good thing they didn't really commit to that. But here we go, Michiko with a big kill, gets rid of Cheeky.
Yeah, Storm rotates over up top and finds Flow Girl making a aggressive rotation forward. It's going to leave Gabby and Ray in a 2 versus 5, and as you can see, they're content with just chilling at the A-bomb, and we know well enough that Truly, they're ready to plant at the B-bomb. That's going to be a plant going down. Object picks up another. It's going to leave Gabby in a 1 versus 5. It doesn't feel possible with the way Truly have been playing here today.
Enemy contact.
They've been playing so well, and I like to see that from Truly. This is the break that they need, and Object's going to be in a nasty situation, but finally gets the kill. Gabby goes down. That would not have been easy, and you can already see the reluctance from Gabby to actually go in there for the assault, but she has the time. Yes, not really. 30 seconds with a 1v5, it's not going to be quite possible, but we need to see a different strategy here for Nyla. They need to have another round, and especially knowing very well that they have the bomb finally going in here. The bomb is going to be in Michiko's arms, as per usual, but it's going to be another push. But then, you can see here, that alpha push, no one is going to be there for the defense.
Yeah, nobody was ready for that turnaround there. Flow Girl going to pick up one onto Storm. Probably one of the better picks you could have asked for here with the way Storm has been playing. Cheeky does come through with one onto Object as well. Now pushing up from behind, might be able to find Michiko as well. Wonderful with a refrag. Cheeky does have the katana out. Doesn't see the player behind the tractor. And that's a big clutch up for Truly. 4-1 lead now as we are going to flip sides.
Feels bad, man. That could have been a Nyla win, but then they just dropped it. It's just like they don't know how to respond and just take a break. They need to just chill out, stay at a certain situation where you know very well that you will win that. They just needed for the girls of Truly to just come to them, but instead they wanted to go in there for the fight. And the bomb won't be picked up right now, surprisingly. Pick up the bomb. Pick up the bomb, girls. Come on, you have to pick up the bomb.
Yo, they're here to play team deathmatch, clearly.
And finally, we see the pickup coming in from Ray, finally, which seemed like forever. And now they don't know where to go. We see a very amazing setup, a really heavy utility going in there from the back alley and also in Alpha as well. That is going to be very hard to infiltrate. And that is the price that you pay for not moving fast enough and getting the bomb.
Yeah, Truly in a good position to potentially pick up their first match win here tonight. Be a nice little 20 points. And like we were mentioning earlier, that could put them into a quarterfinals position if Op34 isn't able to find a little bit of ground. Object comes through with one before getting refragged out by Ray. Do see a couple players from Truly over towards Bakery. Rotating up behind Flow Girl, but Kay can't find the last bullet to connect. Gonna find her on the rotation around, however. It's going to bring things into a 3 versus 3. The bomb plant is going down by Ray currently, but Storm picks up the kill through the fence. Kay is there to pick up another. Gabby's now stuck in a 1 versus 3. The collapse comes through, and what a round for Truly there.
There's a difference between passive play and reluctance, and from the side right now of Nyla, there was just a lot of reluctance going into that early game. They didn't move at all. They even couldn't get the bomb down. So that was that gave Truly a chance to position themselves and have a counter play, especially when the bomb was going to be planted, and Storm with big kills already. Just stopping just one more person. Doesn't stop the plant, no, but still gets rid of one more person. So very cheeky plays here for the side of Truly. Very impressive so far. We are at match point actually, as it's going to be a 5-1. It's gonna take a lot for Nile to go and pull through, especially going in there with a very aggressive push going into A.
Object comes through with 1. Object almost able to pick up 2 and 3, but does drop out. Wonderful was pushing up with the sniper and shorty in hand, but it is going to be the 4 versus 3 advantage for the side of, oh my goodness, that's a rough one. Flow Girl peeks a little bit too hard, gets picked off. Cheeky does get the refrag onto Storm, though. That is going to keep the net player advantage in favor of, Nyla. Now Wonderful making the rotation over. Gonna get katana'd in the face. And teabagged.
Oh, wow. The toxicity is what we like to see. The slice and dice. And not only that, they're gonna mince it all together, but it's still a far stretch to actually go and win this one. Don't teabag quite yet, just because of, you need 3 more rounds.
That's a bold strategy to teabag at 2 to 5.
It's quite the bold move, and that might actually bring the fire even more to Truly. So, you can see here a Truly push going into the backside. They are wanting that flank going in here, but only one person can try to go and stop them, but doesn't quite do so. K gets the kill.
Yeah, K is going to pick that one up, and it's going to be a big opportunity for them, as we do have players funneling on over towards the A-bomb at this point. Flow Girl being the only player down does give the 5 versus 4 advantage to the side of Truly. Gabby does pick up 1 with the trophy system, though. Nice little cheeky surprise kill there. Storm taking quite a bit of damage, but is going to survive.
Storm goes down. Sugar Babe is going to be having a really good gunfight. Ray, on the other hand, loses that very easy gunfight, over pushes, pays the price, but Sugar Babe already with a response. A 3v2 situation. No! Make that a win. And finally, things sort of turn around, and I feel like it's the magic of the teabagging that maybe has gotten up. And, Cheeky, on the other hand, having very cheeky plays already to her name. 5 and 6. So, pretty impressive, but we see Truly as well having even games as well. So a very interesting push going into Granny. Full stack going into A, but a full stack going into Bravo for the side of Nyla. So very interesting response. Not quite sure if it's the smartest thing to do, though, just because you're leaving so much open spaces going into the back end.
And Michiko going to come through with 1. Flow Girl gets the snipe onto Wonderful. Big 1-for-1 trade for them. Flow Girl takes a couple bullets to the window, but is going to make it out alive. And as you can see, we have pretty much everybody from the side of Nyla up in the top of blue building here. Storm has picked up a sniper as well, looking to pick Flow Girl out of the window, but neither team wants to give an inch. While all that action's going on, Gabby's like, you know what? I'm going to play it B. Oh, no! No! Oh, horror. Absolute horror.
And this is why you don't teabag the players of Truly, man, when you're down so much. That was basically match point 3 and 6. And finally, Truly finds the rhythm of their song, marching in the beat of their own drum. Really just skipping along the dead bodies of Nyla. They say, no, 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 you're not going to do that to us, knowing very well that we are just 1 win away from winning this series. A very great win from Truly, and finally, it's day number 6. That's going to be their lucky number.
Yeah, it took a while, but Truly pick up the 2-0 victory, and that is going to give them a 5-point lead over Op 34. And we'll hop into the standings for you guys here shortly, so you guys can see all of that. But definitely want to talk about that last game, because look at the kills for Truly. I've never seen this.
You've never seen so much kills already. It's like a 7. I told you, it's their lucky day. Yeah, see, I didn't even know they had 7 kills apiece. So that is just so amazing for them. I wish it was day 7. That would have been absolutely perfect if that was the case. But you know what? It seems to be like the Truly Girls needs to go to a casino right now and bet everything. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But 7 kills all across the board. I don't think I've seen anything like this either.
Yeah, definitely a interesting one. Nyla put up a good fight, specifically in the hardpoint was really entertaining match to watch. The search and destroy did, however, largely feel like, oh man, long day. The search and
Very
destroy
long
did
day.
largely feel like truly were in control pretty much the whole time, even after losing a couple rounds there. So that is gonna round us out for the night. Going to go ahead and hop on over to today's results for anybody who maybe joined us a little bit late here today.
That is just absolutely crazy stuff that we've seen here today. It's been such an amazing end as well. We started it on a high note, we kept it up, and then we just finished the day with a bang. And I'm so happy to really just see all the teams that struggled here so far finally get the W. And you know what, Day, you go mention the points here just because of how well these teams have performed here in day number 6.
Yeah, definitely had a good series here. Honeybees did come through with the win over Explicit, but we got to see some more of that Honeybees action, and we got to see some of that brand new and improved Beef Shorty action. Carnage up against Op 34 though had to be the best match of the night, and what a absolute heartbreak series for the side of Op 34. Because again, that was Op 34's hard point to win. If they won that, then bounced through and won the search and destroy as well, they are still in top 6 at that point. They'd be sitting up at 30 points. They'd still be ahead of Truly, who just walked away with the 2-0 victory over Nyla. But sometimes it's just not in the cards. Carnage, however, does pick up the 2-1 victory there. ARP Celeste versus NYX. Pretty much went about as expected. NYX looking just like they're in an absolutely different league. You could largely feel that they were kind of like playing with their food, I think would be the phrase to go with here. But still a really solid game between those two teams, all things considered. And then our final matchup of the night was that Truly versus Nyla matchup, which we just had. And Truly coming through with the 2-0 victory and the most, admittedly, just strange occurrence I've seen in COD Mobile of every single player on the team having 7 kills. So sometimes
I know.
weird stuff just
a lot of
happens, and
strange
you got to,
things.
you all here in chat got to share it with me and Beef Mommy. Just remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because we mentioned how it's today is their lucky day before even knowing their kills, and just like that, when you actually presented all of the kills to the chat, all 7 all across the board. So maybe they keep this lucky streak going alive into the next week, and hopefully they get to have more kills. And having that top 6 spot, it's not going to be comfortable. You need to have a little bit of leeway if you are going to be Truly. So yes, you did a really good job today, but next week is going to be a different battle to really just win the war.
Yeah, definitely. And as you guys can see, the standings are up on the board. NYX sitting comfortably in first place, 120 points, haven't dropped a map yet. Honeybees sitting down at 100 points. Their only loss was to NYX in the 2-0. ARP and Explicit were tied coming into today with 75 points, and they both lost their matchups, so they will remain tied at 75. Carnage jumped up from 50 to 65 with their 2-1 win. Truly finds their first map win and series win of the season and jumps up to 20 points on the board to overtake Op 34, as we mentioned. And Nyla, the newest addition, coming through and does pick up nothing here today, unfortunately. So 0 points for them. They'll remain down in 8th place. But that is going to be it for us tonight for Mobile Mayhem. But don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to have a short break. And then we are going to be flipping over to the spawn, where we're going to have Molly from Honeybees as well as Beef Mommy making her very first spawn appearance. So should be a good time. I know I'm excited for it, especially after such a great day of games. And hopefully you're happy to join us as well, Beef Mommy.
Oh, definitely. It's such an honor to be part of the spawn, and finally, I've been trying to put myself inside the spawn. It's been a long waiting list, so I had to wait and really just, you know what, there's a long waiting list. I'm not top priority, but you know what? I'm finally here in one of the best podcasts for Call of Duty Mobile. Finally get to see and really just talk about what went down last weekend to go into our European champ. So, a
Yeah,
lot of things to talk about.
yeah, we definitely got to catch up on that because unfortunately things fell through once again for Europe on Tuesday. As anybody who maybe has been on Twitter knows that Europe is kind of a little bit in shambles right now as far as the community scene goes, but hopefully we'll be able to return to those programmings very, very soon. But that's going to close us out for the night. Thank you so much, guys, for coming, and hopefully we'll see you guys in, I don't know, about maybe 10 or so minutes for the spawn.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no me hagas mostrar. A la buena el mejor, a la mala normal. Yo no sé de rapear. Capi pone en la pista y yo empiezo a tirar. Yo no vine a inventar. Pegado en la UCI, pegado en la TAN. Mala mía, manito, es que como yo no hay otro igual. ¿Qué tal? El tiempo te lo estoy cambiando, 50 formas de seguir facturando. El género cambia, para largo y lo parto. Tranquilo que este flow yo te lo reparto. Que te alto, tranquilo que de plata estoy llamando. Pero yo no celebrando que estamos ganando. La vida es un si no me entiendes, googlea lo que estoy tirando. Voy a pagar para que tú no me sigas envidiando. Alto. Fire!